Guys, hello! Hello guys, what's up? Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Look, hindi kita naririnig.
Sorry, nakamute pala ako.
Ayun!
Silent treatment.
Sabi ko, kung hindi, manghuhula ako ng sasabihin mo.
Ano nga to? Ano yun?
Hi everyone!
Yes! Welcome to Community Gladiators,
Yes.
Fortitude Royale. We are your hosts for tonight.
Yes,
I'm Sharlene.
And I am Doc Z, guys. And
Hello?
ito na ang exciting part talaga. Ang playoff
Yes.
stage ng Community Gladiators Fortitude Royale!
Yes, and alam ko lahat naghihintay na dito. Lahat nagtatanong kailan ba magla-live, pero eto na guys, live na po
Yes.
kami on Facebook, sa page Tito COD M, sa mga pages namin ni Doc Z. Saan pa tayo live, Doc Z?
Sa YT.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And dito sa Blue App, sa TikTok. Hello everyone. So,
What's up,
sobrang
guys?
ma-appreciate po namin if you will like,
Like and share the stream, guys. Let's
repost
go.
the live.
Mhm.
Ayan. Maraming salamat po.
Talagang, guys, kamusta kayo? Kamusta kaya ang mga players natin? Handa na ba sila ngayon?
Kaya nga,
Handa na ba?
ready na ba?
Kasi, guys, ang kukuhanin per game natin, per round natin is top 4.
Yes,
Para-
pero
Para sa finals bukas, di ba?
yes, tama yan, Doc Z. Pero bago mo pa ma-reveal yung mga exciting part, tawagin na natin yung mga casters natin for tonight.
Yes.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, depending on your time zone. And
Grabe naman
we're gonna
yun.
be your shoutcaster
Wow.
for this tournament. I am
Grabe nga
Gamagori,
yun.
together with me.
Hey kids, it's JD, the caster dad.
And there you go. We, Sharlene, Doc Z, and JD, the caster dad or dad, will be giving you the story, the narrative of these Community Gladiators Fortitude Royale. Isn't that right, Dad?
That is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, COD MBR is so back. Alam ko na-miss nyo to.
Yes.
Alam ko na-miss nyo ang pagpaparamdam ni Tito COD and the BR community scene, and I'm sure with the amount of support that we got from all the clans that we've had here in the Philippines and across other countries here in Garena, it is a testament to the fact that we are extremely hungry and excited for the beer community to be back on the scene, see it in action, and of course, get some good things on our way. So, eto na yun, the Community Gladiators Fortitude Real is here for you. And syempre, hindi naman po tayo magwawala dito. We have, of course, our rules of the game. Ayan.
Yes, of course.
There you have it for our in-game rules, ladies and gents. Of course, bawal ang mga Smurf accounts. Trash talking, taunting, spamming of lootbacks, execution is also prohibited. Bawal din ang gumagamit ng emulator, and pwede namang gamitin lahat ng class, pwede rin gamitin lahat ng weapon, pero bawal ulit ang ating jackal. And Dad, for the rest,
And of course, speaking of which, syempre, rage quitting, bawal na bawal po yan. One player can only be registered in one team only. Syempre, any fraudulent behavior caught shall be subject to disqualification. And of course, teaming with other teams is extremely prohibited, especially kung pareho kayo ng squads or ng clans basically. Use of cheats and hacks, bawal din po. And of course, please, it is not permitted to humiliate or say anything untoward towards our admins or show disrespect or spam messages to any of the admins. Sabi ko nga, in short, be good, play nice.
Tama.
very good.
Gusto ko din
Dad.
isabuhay yung be good and play nice. Di ba, Doc Z?
Mhm. Tama. I agree. Hindi lang ngayong CG, kundi every single day. Every
Oo.
single time na maglalaro tayo ng COD. Actually, hindi lang habang naglalaro tayo ng COD sa ating buhay.
Tama. Grabe, may powers of wisdom pa si
Grabe.
Doc Z. Now we move on. Ano nga ba ang map natin for playoffs? Ano nga ba?
Alam mo,
And-
nakaka-excite. Kasi,
Nakaka-excite, yes.
Yes, di ba? Di ba, Gamagori? Go, explain mo na yan.
There
Bakit
you go.
excited Gama?
There you go. For the excitement here is not really because of the varieties of the map, but it's more of the isolated and kung gaano kabatak at kakabisado na ng ating mga teams and players to. Isolated is now part of the back of their head. They know every corner, they know every high ground, lahat ng pwede mong taguan, alam na yan ng ating mga teams and players. Is that right, Dad?
That is definitely correct, no? Of course, kabisado na natin yan. It's our
Mm-hmm.
favorite map here in Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale scenes. And nevertheless, no, this is actually the best way to measure kung ano pa yung kakayahan definitely ng isang squad. Kung hindi ka batak dito sa isolated, medyo ibang usapan na yan.
Grabe naman, parang nasaktan ako dun ng slight yung hindi ka batak na isolated. Ibang usapan na yan. Parang, shucks, parang ako yun.
Pero
Hindi
sa
naman.
tingin ko, sa tingin ko ha, walang hindi batak sa isolated.
Oo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Kaya nga, tama ka dyan, Doc Z. Ako kasi, sa totoo, next time, sasali na talaga kami dito eh.
Kaya
Ayaw na
nga
namin
eh,
mag-host.
sa tingin ko, alam nyo, kaya hindi kami sumasali kasi pinagbibigyan namin kayo ng chance. Pero once na sumali kami, 2 versus 4 kayo, mag-4 kayo.
Hindi, pero guys, all jokes aside, we are so excited. Kayo ba? Excited na kayo? Sinong teams ba yung mga sinusuportahan nyo? Please, i-drop nyo yan sa comment section and isa-shoutout namin yung mga teams na talagang sinusuportahan nyo. Sino-sino ba yan? Or mga players ba yan? So go guys, shoutout tayo ngayon.
Yes. Shoutout nyo, i-cheer nyo naman yung mga teams na kasama na sinusuportahan nyo, guys. And
Pero
like and share the stream.
Yes, like and share the stream. Gama, Dad, nakita nyo na ba yung bagong update ni Tito Codem?
Iyon. Yun na nga. And definitely, yes. And honestly, yun ang magbibigay ng variety. Yun ang magbibigay ng spice on how our players, how our teams will do that game. And of course, introducing, that's going to be the wild card system of Call of Duty Mobile. Isang mga bagong mga cards na pwede makuha, ma-loot ng ating mga teams and players to maybe add an advantage depende sa playstyle at depende sa kanilang class. Di ba, Dad?
That is correct though. With the introduction of the wild cards, it's kind of a whole different story right now.
Mm.
Kasi with the elements of the wild cards, it actually allows you to increase the level of skills that you have, especially kung medyo you're on the medic class and then you have the
Ooh.
medical kit. Hindi ka lang healing galing eh. Healing
Mm.
ang galing-galing. Kasi
Ate, ang
ang taas na
galing
ng hit,
naman.
ang taas na ng hit level mo. But of course, for some na medyo on the scout, they may use the Hawk's Eye that will allow them also to have better visibility of their opponents. Meron pa bang
Mhm.
ibang actually wild cards in the future? And of course, the question there is, will they find this on the map and how are they going to utilize it? So medyo
Yeah.
that extra push is gonna be the question. Pero syempre hindi lang po shout out at tawag dito, bragging rights. Meron po tayo for the Community Gladiators, Fortitude
Mhm.
Royale, of course. We are going to give away lots and lots of good prizes for you guys this evening. So let's show our prize pool for tonight. Syempre, starting off with our first place, they will go home with 2,000 pesos. Second place will take a $1,000. Third place, 500 USD. Fourth is 300. Fifth place is 200 USD. So, Gama, wag na tayo pag-convertin yan. Bigay na natin sa kanila yung Philippine version.
Yon, thank you very much. So, converted into peso, that is a whopping 115,000 pesos for the first place. Second place naman sa pre, hindi ka rin lugi, 57,500 pesos. Third place with a crispy 28,750 peso. Fourth place naman with 17,500 pesos. And even the fifth place with a juicy 11,250 peso for this tournament. So yes, our players, our teams are not just competing for bragging rights, for shout out, for fame. That's gonna be really the extra one. And prize pool here, the monetary that we'll be getting our teams and players is what really matters. Yun ang magpapainit lalo. Yun ang magpapasigla sa ating mga players. Anong gagamitin nilang wildcard? Gusto nilang mag-Hawkeye? Gusto nilang mag-medical? Then go. Diba? Kasi they need to use any advantage, and especially these playoffs for Community Gladiators Fortitude Royale will be placement only. One round,
Mm.
one bracket, one chance for you to secure your spot for tomorrow's grand final.
top 4 'to 'no, so kailangan
Uy,
talaga
grabe.
isipin mo kung anong gagawin mo. Magiging aggressive
Mhm.
ka ba? Kung ikaw yung nandito, Doc Z, magiging aggressive ka ba sa game?
Oo.
Ba't parang hindi
Kaya
yan yung
nga
napag-usapan
alam
natin
mo,
kanina?
kaya nga hindi rin ako sumali. Kasi baka group stage pa lang, out na ako.
Oo, kung qualifiers pa lang laglag na
Oo.
tayo. Pero
Mm.
guys, the long wait is over!
Yes!
Malapit na magsimula ang bracket A, so Gamma and Dad, take it
Take it
away.
away.
Thank you very
Yun.
much, ladies. Doc Z, Charlene, maraming salamat. So, eto na. First bracket natin. So, by the way, for this entire evening, so we're gonna be staying here to the wee hours. Hanggang bracket F po tayo.
Yes.
Bracket F. So basically, we have all of that brackets for tonight, which means marami-raming squads ang makikita natin na magbabattle it out for this evening. Now, as
Mhm.
Doc Z and Charlene has mentioned, one round lang po tayo dito, which actually puts this entire matchup in a whole different level. So Gama, sabi nga nila, no, either you camp or you play aggressive. Pero in this situation, what would be your best move?
All right, there you go. That's a very good question. And it depends kung gaano ba ka-solid ang chemistry and gaano ka-confident kayo as a team. Because playing on a comp level, mag-stay lang kayo, try to survive. It's really not a bad idea at all. Yun naman talaga yung para umabot ka sa placement ng top 1, top 2, top 3, or top 4. Pero if you are confident, bawasan mo na yung competition. Bawasan mo na yung mga players na possible umabot pa sa dulo ng placement. So either go aggressive, annihilate, eliminate the teams and players, and secure that sweet spot on the placement. And speaking of sweet spot, we are now starting our bracket A round number 1. Again, isang round lang kada bracket, isang chance lang for our teams and players. And this is again Community Gladiator Fortitude Royale bracket A. And here we go!
Na-miss ko yung here we go, kapatid. Na-miss ko yun. And yes, indeed, we are set first bracket for this round. One game only for all of these squads. Now, of course, just for lineup, we have 22 squads. Yep, 20 squads battling it out for this evening. And so medyo for this round number 1, I think we're gonna be leaning towards the northern side of the map as based on our flight plan. So sabi mo nga, no, best case scenario for all of these squads is be aggressive with the first half. Once the zone starts clearing in, medyo you could just put yourselves in a slower position, secure your loots. If you can find those wild cards, trade and use them, and then head straight to the middle and then wait for your opponents to come in.
I definitely agree. And tingnan mo tong flight path na to, no? It's very limited. Nasa snowy area, pero makikita naman natin ang ating mga teams and players still dropping off sa medyo malayo, like Doc, Downtown, Sakura. Pero what I'm really excited here is how our teams, our players are gonna be maximizing the wildcard system that is introduced on this tournament. Diba? Bago mag-tournament, nagkaroon ng wildcard. So nakita natin na nag-practice ang mga teams and players. Siyempre, dapat talaga nila pag-practicean. And first blood on the hands of SRP Phoenix, eliminating our elite Nanashio. Oh, look at this. Your team number 2 playing on a trio scenario. Si Sweet, si Renz, and si Sky. Tatlo lang sila naglalaro dito. They still have an opportunity. They still have a chance to survive. And of course, reach the bitter end of our round 1 or bracket A.
That is for sure. No? Whether you're on a trio mode or duo lang kayo or you have a full squad stack for tonight, syempre, you have an even chance. It's really just a matter of how you play this game perfectly, especially when it comes to this situation. So far, no, for Elite, good start here for the squad, no, squad letter J natin. Maganda naman naging start nila because we already had some good engagement ready for these squads. But of course, as we said, no, medyo if this is the situation for any of these squads, it's really best for them to just secure themselves first. Try not to engage unless required. Pero pag ano na lang talaga, pag ipit na, saka na lang. Kasi again, it's placement points. Top 4 lang to. Out of 20, you will have to definitely fight off a lot of people to secure your slot. Speaking of which, mukhang medyo magpaparamdam ng elite dito against one squad here at the side. Let's see if this one connects. Maybe not just yet. Medyo makalma muna tayo dito, Gama, no?
Yes. And talagang ramdam mo na our teams or players are trying to play it safe. May mga nakikita tayong mga teams and players na magkakalapit. But they are not engaging just yet. As you can see, we still have a full pack, 75 players and 20 teams pa din. Wala pang nawa-wipe out. Nagiging madiskarte sila on how they want to engage. But Xenon will break the silence, eliminating our RWE Uno from that encounter. Popping off the medic, makikipagbalagbagan na nga sila dito. Carl already trying to maximize the high ground na meron. Si Egoist na naman madadali din. But let's see how they will be able to go for that engagement. Nag-aampahan sila dito that the Team BE, Team RWE is waiting for their opportunity. Pero si Xenon yung aggressive dito, pushing forward. Carl is also maximizing some damage output there, dealing a lot of damage but not enough to take any kills just yet. Pero si Xenon naman ang makakapitas kay Saltic from the Team RWE with a juicy headshot.
Rough World Esports not in a good situation right now against B Saint, ano? So medyo habulan ng konti dito Yoshi, trying to just stay away here. End goal is basically for them to just survive this one. Pero si Carl, medyo out, nabanatan. So the finish courtesy there of Yoshi, and of course, medyo Yoshi hahabol naman kay Ambush. Medyo siya ang i-ambush pag nagkataon, pero definitely will not engage just yet. Perhaps the goal for Yoshi here is to get the rest of the squad back up and running. At least for now, no? Medyo okay lang eh. Bawas naman sila. Di na sila masyado aggressive. Get the team back together before you go on with the rest of the game. So that's really, you know, you can see definitely that, ano, that mindset of the placement eh. Rather than just go in for the attack all the way, okay lang eh. At least di ka delikado. Balikan mo muna yung squad. It's a higher chance for you if you have a 4-man stack versus, ano, playing with 2 members only until the very end.
I definitely agree. And again, the game here is to secure placing and not just kills. So sa tingin mo, I agree with that. Sa tingin mo alanganin, back off ka muna. Go for the dog tags. But going into the side, Yume knocking down our Malak Royal. Si Zach madadali din ni Casio Royal on that engagement sa ilalim ng plataforma. Nagbabalagbagan ng players. Si Yume naman plating up with that blue plate, trying to go for some engagement. Pero si Yan Yan able to get that kill against King of HRA. Nagkakabawasan. Mukhang mayroon pang isang team na nasa paligid, but they won't be engaging just yet. Lalayo muna sila dito. Maiiwan ng HRA at ang Royal on this encounter. But si Sting naman getting that first drop, and ang ating mga HRA going in for the rescue para maitayo pa ang the rest of the members of their squad.
Hashira Homera. Actually, na-miss ko tong squad na to. This was like an OG squad that I've
It
had
is.
the opportunity to cast way back in the day. So medyo nagpaparamdam na sila ulit. For Royal Esports GTX, they did not have the high ground advantage, but at least they were really making sure that they were engaging with Hashira Homera, putting the pressure on them. So they have to back out already with their situation. Ano? So at least for Royal Esports, okay pa sila. They still have the opportunity to at least engage on a different situation. But for now, focus ang Hashira muna to recuperate from that engagement, put themselves back in the mix, and at least, you know, secure their slots later during the game. As we check the map here, medyo kalat-kalat pa ang ating mga squads here. No? So this is how you can see that if it's not about placement points, they will do their best to spread themselves as far as the map as possible, put themselves in a spot that they can loot as much as they can, secure really their slots, find those wildcards if they can, and of course, make sure that they have all the advantage once the zone shrinks to a significant level na kailangan na talaga nilang mag-engage.
I agree with that. Patak-patak sila dito. Watak-watak sila dyan. Making sure that they survive and avoid any engagement so far. Pero, ang ating mga team number 9, our team, merong nasa paligid nila. Maybe going in for some engagement, pero not really prioritizing some loot, prioritizing some upgrades, and prioritizing the survivability of their team. And we can see naman sa ating bracket A, ang unang round, ang unang game ng ating gabi, nakalmado ang mga players. Nakakita tayo ng aksyon, pitas-pitas here and there, but not so much of a full back-to-back action. And again, this is the variety that this tournament can offer. So umpisa, play safe. Pero I assure you, everyone, pagdating ng final zone at marami pang teams ang buhay, doon magkakasubukan.
That is true. No? Actually, that's a big thing that you have to consider. Would you want to have a lot of teams pa during almost the final zone? Because that's gonna make your basically situation absolutely difficult. So at least if you can, find your opponents already. If you have the advantage, take them out if you can. You know, parang medyo itong ginagawa ng Silak, medyo pumipitas ng konti pero not really fully engaging just yet. So medyo
Yes.
paramdam-paramdam lang, at least probably just pushing some suppression fire for them and not really fully trying to take out their opponents. Pero that's
Yeah.
fine. Now, ito medyo as the zone closes in, as you can see, most of them are still outside the zone except for a few members from Leventis Valor, I guess. So, konti
Mhm.
pa lang sila. The rest, nasa labas pa rin. Yun yung medyo nagiging technique pag ganitong sitwasyon that you are on placement points. You're trying to gatekeep, basically, some of the squads that also has the same idea of making sure that they have almost playing at the edge of the zone. And then, when they see each other, bawas-bawas na sila, then they can engage already if they have the right tools that they have for their arsenal, and then that's when you definitely see a lot of the action here tonight. And speaking of action, ito balik tayo sa B Saints here again. Still with Rufford Esports, hindi pa rin
Ooh.
sila nagbibitawan dito.
Oo.
Dalawa pa rin silang magkasama, pero medyo this time magkalayo. Medyo not really fully engaging close in, but with that launcher do the job. Ayaw pang ipitik. Ayaw
Naku.
pang kalabitin.
Binibitin pa tayo. Parang ano lang, chine-check lang niya dad, no? Checking anong sitwasyon. Uy, look at this. Your team number 4, your AE Colossus main, chilling up top sa wing natin. That is a good, let's say, that's a not bad idea at all. Okay naman yan, maganda yung pwesto nila dito. It's just that kung sama-sama sila dyan at natutuan ng launcher, medyo alanganin. Pero good thing na nasa baba yung isang player nila. I think that's Pudge securing the lower ground. And kung ano naman ang diskarte ng ating mga team number 16, your Smooth Hunters of playing it safe just outside of the zone with a medic class. Sa tingin ko meron sila dito yung mga wild card na kailangan nila dad, no? For ensuring that medic class and that health will always be popping off.
For sure. So ito yung medyo with the advantage of the wild card. You can actually play even more aggressive on the outside of the zone. Kung kaya, why not? Ayun, medyo nakita na natin from our kill feed. Nagpaputok na ng launcher ang B-Saints again, Rufford Esports. But of course, medyo mamaya babalikan natin ma-action yan as we of course check here for this squad. This is of course squad letter L. Emol here, syempre, medyo mukhang i-engage naman nilang squad letter F, and that is somebody else. Pero meanwhile, balik tayo dito sa ating B-Saints here. Nagpaparamdam ng konti. Emo back here in the mix. Medyo nagpaparamdam na. Ang iba, bumabagsak na. This is now where the engagement will start. Those at the edge of the zone will start finding each other, and now they will have no choice but to engage. So let's see how this one works out.
A mall of AML or your team number 12, your Ahimsa Maharlika, magsisimula siya. Kailangan na maging madiskarte, getting the dog tags, but here we go, that's a Louie, eliminating our BE Xenon with that PPSH, yan ang SMG na napakadaming balat, napakakatay. Si Louie naman mapatali din, si Carl ng BE with a Reggae 117, nako, napipitas na ang mga players ng BE with ambush as the last player standing for their team. So tingnan natin kung kaya ba ni Ambush na magpakita ng ambush gameplay against the remaining players. Pero mukhang dumidiskarte lang muna dito ng dog tag, trying to have them scanned for the next revive flight, at meron pa silang opportunity na mag-survive until the bitter end. Team number 15 naman, your team PD on this side, your team has shot, just waiting for their chance, getting the high ground secured. Meron silang mga players on the left side. Tingnan natin kung magkakaroon ng aksyon and fighting outside of the zone. Even though on this update ng COD, makati na yung blue zone natin, and I think they are still well confident with that magic class and probably some wild cards on their players, on their team to ensure an even higher survivability outside of the zone.
Minsan patapangan lang talaga to, no? Honestly, minsan patapangan lang talaga. If you have at least yun nga, the medic class or a nice vehicle that you could use to travel alongside, by all means. Kumbaga kasi some of these squads, the idea here is fine. Let them engage among themselves. We'll stay here outside the zone where probably not many of you are in here. And then, by the time that it's all done, we can come back in. You're basically worn out. You don't have much of an equipment with you. That's when we go in for the kill and the execution. Speaking of which, as of this moment, with the blue zone that small, 18 squads still remain. Has been the technique that we're seeing. So yun talaga, tambay sa labas, pag nagkaipitan, saka tayo pipitas.
Yes. I definitely agree that that is the gameplay that we are seeing from the players. Walang nagiging agresibo. No, walang sugod ng sugod. They're just waiting for their chances. Even though alam na nila kung saan yung opposing team, hindi pa rin nila susugurin. They are all playing a deadly game of patience. Kung sino ang may pasensya, siya ang magwawagi. Pero at the same time, huwag natin kakalimutan that this is a shooter game. So kung sinong mas may tutok, siya ang lamang.
Definitely, no. Yung tutok na yun actually magkakasubukan. Here's the problem with some of these squads doing this technique. They're not engaging. They're not utilizing their weapons. So minsan, for some of them, kumbaga parang kung wala ka pa masyadong warm-up, hindi ka ganun, yung mindset mo is
I
too
agree.
relaxed. If your mind is too relaxed that you're not seeing any opponents and then suddenly you start finding one, medyo may konting panic. That panic, when it sets in and you're not able to respond correctly, that's gonna put you in a very negative situation. So, honestly, for some of these squads, my best technique talaga, especially pag ako, solo gameplay ako pag ganitong sitwasyon, go inside the zone, wait for them to come, get your long-range weapons, hit them as far as you can, go for those tundras if you have them at hand, and then shoot them while they're getting damage from the zone. It's basically your win-win situation. You have the the good advantage on the zone, inside the zone, while at the same time your opponents are losing health already. Tapos pinipitas mo na lang sila isa-isa.
I agree. Speaking of pagpitas, medic and defender now coming into the play. It's going to be AXB. Ooh, that SMRS. Miss J will be taken out by Baldo. Si Chan naman madadali si Podge with a grenade. Nagkakaroon na ng aksyon. Nagkakapitasan na between our players. Spamming a little bit with that PPS HXC. Simula na ang back-to-back action. The zone is closing in. We can see the kill feed popping out. Different players engaging. And Sana will be taken out by Ryu Cha of the team AXP. That's going to be 3 kills now for the team AXP, dropping in some airborne here. Tingnan natin kung gagamitin ba nila dito or just gonna be coming from the opposing player. But now they manage to win those engagement, win those gunfights, and now trying to get inside of the zone. And what I love about JD mentioned or Dad mentioned is yung relaxed mindset. Kung masyado ka nga naman laid off at nagre-relax lang, baka naman mabigla ka pag nagkaroon ng engagement. And Team Alpha, being Alpha here, roaming around the map, that's gonna be some cluster into the play. AXP do have the high ground, waiting for their chance of firing some gunshots. Ooh, that's gonna be a sniper. Tatama kaya ang sniper? Aspect naman, moving forward as well. Pero tamang silip lang with that sniper. Smokes into the play. Our zone, our game is about to get spicy. May nadadali na nga sa labas ng zone. And si Nia naman madadali si Kyle with that SMRS. Tuloy ang baradagulan, tuloy ang aksyon, waiting for their perfect opportunity.
Definitely, that perfect opportunity can come in anytime soon. Now, this is the challenge now for any of these squads. What advantage do you have with your position? Do you have the high ground advantage? Do you have basically the best weapons or at least long-range weapons that you can use regarding these situations? In this case, you can definitely see a lot of them sporting those launchers, using them basically as a pseudo sniper that can one-shot your opponents here. Pero medyo yung iba, still utilizing their perfect loadouts, particularly yung mga naka-sniper rifles talaga. So that's still a good thing. Pero yung iba medyo nagbabayad na ng kanilang pagtambay sa labas. Yun nga, kanina nakita natin marami ng medyo naiwan. But for now, this is the situation that we have here. Alpha trying to really position themselves here. Meanwhile, Elite firing them from a high ground advantage, firing away from perfect distance right now. Can they connect? Trying to just push this one pero mukhang hindi pa kaya ni Nashi and their team. Pero medyo, this is a weird situation for Elite here. Front and back, pareho silang meron. So the question is, who do you engage first?
My goodness me, that is the question. And can you imagine final zone closing in with 14 teams? That's a lot of action. Talagang back-to-back dito. Magkakaipitan lamangan ng pwesto at a tutok. Smoke bomb comes into the play. A little bit of plating into the action. Your team Elite have a little bit of a high ground secure. Delta Louie naman madadali si Bato of the BVE. Tumututok naman with that AK-117 sa Islaw. Mababawasan but with that misdirection movement speed, giving a little bit of advantage. Pero look at that aim. That's a good aim. Pero meron pa ibang team. That's gonna be your team AXP doing some damage as well against the opposing player. Nagkakasawsawan na, nagkakasabayan na, nagkakatutukan ng mga players. At ito na nga, SMRS na sa pseudo sniper. Nanashi will back that one. JD Boy will be taken out from the team PD. Tuloy-tuloy na ang aksyon from our kill feed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we are waiting for. Our round number 1 bracket A about to get that conclusion. The question is, who will rise to the top?
Oh, will indeed. Pero so far, sabi nga natin, medyo, ano na ba, launcher meta na ba tayo ngayon? Medyo this is an absolutely
Yes.
easy situation for Elite. Really making sure that their presence are being felt. Pero same thing with AXP here, trying to go for the push. Low ground advantage, they have the zone at the back, pero medyo iniiwanan mo nila. This time, Alpha, welcoming everyone with open arms. Sniper, connecting perfectly right there, but the clusters and those bombs really doing their jobs right now. So medyo eto na. Dito na lalabas yung hiling-galing ng iba sa ating mga teams. Can they handle the situation here? Pero medyo nakakabatuan pa ata ng Molotov dito. Meanwhile, Sansa trying to shut down one right there. As you can see, 8 squads remaining. And look at that zone. It is so small.
goodness.
They're just utilizing their smokes to make sure that they will not be seen by any of these squads. The question is, who will survive and who will be our top 4?
There you go. Top 4 will be the only team given a chance to proceed sa Grand Finals. And right now, 7 teams na lang ang natitira. So right now, aware na ang mga teams and players that they need to survive. Secure at least top 4, top 3, top 2, or even top 1. Pero grenades coming in. There's a lot of high ground mobility. Meron din mga maliliit na bahay na ginagawang bakuran ng ating mga players. For the team LV naman, Leventis Valor, si Paul and Federico na lang ang natitira for them. But look at them. They have a whopping 13 kills for your team number 1. Leventis Valor being aggressive a little bit, but Sasna and Kira naman madadali ni Baldo with that SMRS. Look at that beautiful zone shrinking in, giving us the action from these players. Mapipilitan na silang pumalag and top 4 teams na lang ang natitira. Now it's just a matter of who will survive even better, maybe for that fame and bragging rights.
Eto na Alpha, trying to survive this one. The push is coming in hot already against squad letter S and Hashira Homura on the other side as well. They're just trying to go in pero mukhang hindi nila kakayanin to. Now we're down to our final 3. Delta has a good situation here but this is just not looking good. Homura getting pummeled right there by the last 2 members of Delta. 4v2.
Oh my goodness me. We have a winner. Team number 3, your team, Hashira Humura, will be the last team standing, will be the last player standing para sa ating bracket A. Now again, top 4 lang ang kukunin, top 4 lang ang ating ipuproceed for the grand finals and mukhang na-excite din ng sobra no si Dad on this engagement. So with that said, tingnan natin, silipin natin mamaya-maya kung sino ba yung mga top 4. Welcome back, Dad! Hello, I missed you! There you go! So again, Humura will be able to get that win and this is the standing placing as of the moment, Dad.
So congratulations syempre Hashira Homura securing first place, Delta with second, Alpha with third, and of course, Leventis Valor securing our fourth place. Ayan. So good setup right there for these 4 squads. But definitely, as you can see, no, for Delta, that aggression really worked really well for them.
Yeah.
They were still able to manage themselves to at least top 2, no? Although medyo nagkaipitan lang sila sa number dahil naging 4v2 situation against Hashira Homura. But for Hashira, played it really smart, played it really well. So they're definitely okay na silang in their top 4. So secured na silang 4 for bracket A. So syempre for now, medyo tignan naman natin ang opinion ni Sharlene and Doc Z regarding
Yes.
our bracket A. So let's start off with Doc muna. Doc, kumusta?
Ay! Grabe. Ako
Nagkagulutan na
talaga una. Huy!
Tinawag ka ni
Grabe.
Dad, so wala kang
Oo,
magagawa.
Wala
Ikaw
akong
ang una.
magagawa. Wala akong magagawa. Teka, pwedeng ikaw muna, Shar, kasi may nagkaroon akong technical difficulties dito.
Uy.
Okay. So, grabe, nagulat ako. Saka nakita ko rin yung standing. Sabi ko, shucks yung Alpha. Hindi din ako gumalaw. Oh, di ba? Yung Alpha, hindi sila gano'n nag-engage, pero nakapasok sila sa top 3. So, parang sabi ko talagang, parang nasa sa inyo din yan kung talagang magiging agresibo kayo if you're going to play it safe. Kung talagang kabisadong-kabisado nyo yung team nyo na kaya nyo kahit malagas yung ibang players ay kaya nung iba na makaabot hanggang dulo. So parang sa akin, depende din talaga sa tiwala mo sa teammates mo eh. And ang grabe biglang na ako para silang mga langgam kanina nung pasara na yung
Alam mo, sabi ko nga rin sa habang ina-analyze ko ang game, wow!
Wow!
Analyzer! Hindi, pero sa tingin ko napakaimportante ng positioning and kung ano yung hawak mong baril. Kasi kanina sabi ko, bakit lahat sila nasa corner? Nasa
Oo, oo.
corner ng zone, walang nasa gitna.
Oo, oo.
Siguro same sila lahat ng thinking na once na nasa corner sila, kumbaga, hindi ko na ma-explain pero ang masasabi ko lang, ang importante talaga ang positioning kasi yun yung magsasabi kung mapapasok ka ba sa
Success
top
ka.
4.
Kung
Yes,
sa-success ka.
actually, oo, kung sa-success ka, sumakses ka, eh di
Oo, very good.
congratulations. Pero
Congratulations,
alam mo,
pasok ka sa finals.
kanina sinasabi ko, early game na
Hmm.
I think makakapasok ang Delta, which nakapasok nga talaga sila.
Bakit
Ang
mo
galing!
nasabing makakapasok sila?
Kasi umpisa pa lang ang ganda na ng positioning nila.
So parang thinking
Yes.
ahead sila sa mga
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
Ako naman, ang medyo na gulat ako kasi siyempre, COD just updated, 'di ba? Like, major update.
Tama.
So, parang ako, tinitignan ko kung ano yung mga class na ginagamit nila and mostly nakikita ko may naka-defender, may naka-igniter, pero grabe talaga ang medic class. Medic class is parang lagi siyang gamit na gamit sa mga tournaments.
Oo nga, 'no?
Oo, ayun. Yun lang ang aking masasabi.
Tsaka yung SMRS, ang dami gumagamit ng SMRS. Ang pagkakabanggit ko pa tuloy kanina, MRSS. Sabi ko,
Ang galing!
ang galing, 'di ba?
Yes, kayo naman, kayo ba guys, sino yung mga susunod na, ay, pwede bang ipakita lang muna natin ulit kung sino yung top 4 teams natin for bracket A? Para lang din sa mga kakapasok pa lang ay aware
Yes.
sila.
And of course, and back here, this is
Yan.
bracket A natin, top 4 again. It's Hashira Homura, Delta taking second, Alpha is our third place, and of course, Levendes Valor taking fourth place. So
Mhm.
these four, again, officially secured na sila sa ating finals. Pero bracket A pa lang to. Hanggang bracket F po tayo ngayong gabi.
Kaya nga, pero yan, congratulations to our top 4 teams.
Yes, kasado
Congratulations,
na kayo
guys.
bukas sa ating
Oo.
finals.
Yes,
Wow!
and tomorrow rin po yung finals natin, March 25, 7 p.m.
PM. So, see you. See you guys, ha. I-ano nyo na yan, i-alarm nyo na sa phone nyo.
Yung
Yan, now, in a few minutes lang ay magsa-start na rin ang bracket B.
B.
Sino nga ba yung mga dapat natin abangan sa bracket B na teams?
Ayun. So,
Gama.
for our bracket B, no, Dad. Now, again, just to enlighten yung mga kakapasok lang, for our brackets, isang round lang po kada bracket. And these teams, these players are playing for placing only. Walang kill points, only the top 1 to top 4 will secure their spot for the grand finals. And honestly, the mindset here is to filter the best of the best. Yung kayang mag-survive and at the same time, kayang dumali. Kasi, iisipin kasi ng mga tao natin dyan, Dad, right, is going in and ano to magiging camping lang yung mga players, ganito lang yung mangyayari. But no, if you widen it up, ang mangyayari on the final zone, marami pang matitira and dun magkakasubukan. So, given the pressure of a lot of teams still standing, yun ang ating magiging denominator. Sino nga ba ang deserve for the grand finals? And going back for our bracket B, that we have DTK Valor, Revenant Esports, Euro Artemis, High Speed, Noble Reality Kings, Unbothered Asira, Pave Invicta, MW Infinite, Bellum Sumo Neko, Royal Poseidon, Leventis Hormin, and for the rest, Dad.
And of course, we have Templar, DU Main, AXP, E-Type YG, Team Okay Fine Never Mind. Ito talaga sa akin to. It's Team MDT, mga dagok, Tabay Didoy. CDXX, AE Saints, ZD Jado, Poison Ivy Omni, Leap Main, and VVV Esports. So some of the household names are actually here in bracket B. Saka may mga squads din ako again, medyo na-encounter ko in the past. For most of these squads, perhaps new names, pero definitely the same aggressive players that have been eager to be part of the BR community here in CODEM, especially here for Garena talaga. So again, going back to the point ni Gama, no? So, sinasabi nga nila, everyone's gonna be camping. Actually, hindi nga camping yung nangyari, eh. It's just
Mm,
everyone staying outside of the zone, just waiting for that opportunity to engage kung sino man yung makakasalubong nila. Yun halos yung nangyari. And then, yeah,
agree.
I guess for bracket B, we would definitely expect more of the igniters, yung transform shields, and of course, medics, plus SMRS. Mukhang yung apat na yun talaga ang key to victory natin for BR right now. But let's see if the bracket B shows up with a different format and perhaps a different technique for all of us here ngayong gabi.
And with that said,
Yes.
I want to ask, right, Sharlene, Doc Z, with the introduced wildcard, I'm going to be putting you on the spot here.
Ha?
Anong class
Ha?
ang gagamitin nyo? And anong wildcard? Kasi hindi yung exact name, right? Anong wildcard sa tingin nyo yung magiging beneficial for your class? At inuna ni Dad si Doc Z kanina, Sharlene, I'll pick you first.
Charlene, take it away. Pwede ko ba,
Take
pwede
it
ba,
out.
pwede ko ba tignan kung ano yung mga wildcard natin dito? Pero, definitely sa class, ewan ko ha, nung nag-update, kahit tanongin niyo si Doc Z, tinatry
Ang
ko ulit
lala ng
mag-defender.
Ay, oo.
Mm.
Kaya
Tina-
nga, kahit ang lala ng smoke bomber ngayon.
Ang
Sobrang
bilis ng
binaf.
smoke. Sobrang
Sobra.
bilis ng smoke bomb ngayon. Pero, may mga nakita rin naman ako kanina, pero parang hindi lahat ng team ngayon ay may smoke bomber. Pero sure ako
Yes.
na lahat ng
May
team
medic.
naka-medic. Oh.
Yes.
Pero ayun, for the wild cards, alam niyo, swertihan lang din yan eh. Yung sa wild card. Pero parang okay yung medical kit.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Okay talaga siya, lalo ngayon na ang nangyayari is parang nagpe-play safe and halos lahat nakatambay sa dulo ng zone. 'Di ba? Sa mga corners ng zone. So parang okay 'yun. Pero guys, if you have played na and you have updated na your games, try niyo yung BR ngayon. Sobrang ibang-iba yung
Yes. Ang
klase
ganda.
ng gameplay dahil sa mga wildcards. So
Mhm.
ayun.
Ako
Ikaw,
naman,
Doc
kung
Z.
ang pipiliin kong class, I think, shockwave. Ginagamit ba yun? Kasi ang mga
Ginagamit
nakikita kong
yun!
Mm.
nakikita kong class talaga kanina is medic, airborne,
Mm.
and rewind. May nakita din ako ng rewind.
Mm.
So, pero for me kasi, shockwave pa din pipiliin ko para walang makalapit sa akin. And then,
Yes.
ang wildcard na sana makuha ko is yung alam niyo yung bumibilis outside the zone. Kasi lahat na kapag tournament, parang gusto nila tumambay sa zone eh.
Mhm.
So, at least once na meron akong gano'n, bumibilis ako kapag nasa ako outside the zone, di ba?
Yes, medyo hindi pa lang namin talaga kabisado yung mga wildcard
Mhm.
names, pero slowly naman siguro in a week kaalam na namin 'yan kasi kaka-update lang
Bagong-bago
talaga
eh.
ni Tito.
Bagong-bago
Bagong-bago.
eh. Oo.
Bagong-bago, pero buti nakapaglaro kami ni Doc Z a few days ago and
Yes.
ibang-iba talaga yung magiging dynamic ng game, lalo kapag squad kasi kailangan iba-iba kayo ng wildcard para
Mm.
masaya.
Mm.
There you go. Thank you, ladies, Sharlene Doc Z, for answering that. And talagang depende siya sa playstyle mo eh. If you're
Tama.
aggressive, if you're
Tama.
passive, if you're
I agree.
passive-aggressive,
Oo.
di ba? Maraming chance, maraming opportunity to utilize every wild card and how you want to play it. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, our bracket B is on its way. So tingnan natin what kind of engagement, what kind of action. So Sharlene, Doc Z, let's see ano ang magiging aksyon for this bracket B, Dad.
Yes.
Bye.
Ayan. Again, thank you very much, Doc Z and Miss Sharlene, ano. So ito na, bracket B na tayo and I'm sure medyo from the comment section, medyo may mga excited na rin makita ang
Yeah.
kanilang respective squads for tonight. So yeah, definitely when it comes to the new update, which is actually I'm surprised for most of these squads that somehow they managed really to adjust with a very
Yeah.
short amount of time na medyo alam na nila yung bagong meta, alam na nila yung bagong vibe, and they're able to adjust quite well already with the new class, basically yung updates natin with the BRC, particularly yung introduction of the wild cards, no?
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess the question definitely for most of these squads is yun nga, yung as a four-man stack, yung four squad, ano yung combo nyo? So you of course already
Yeah.
have your own respective classes, perhaps, pero what one equips with that? So yun yung medyo magiging question sa kanila.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. and yung mga combination ng mga wild cards dad, right? Kung anong wild card ang magiging okay with the player A and player B and how they want to make it. And with that said, Bracket B is now on its way. And ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Community Gladiators Fortitude Royale. Bracket B, one round only, isolated map, playing for placement. And here we go.
Definitely, here we go. Again, this time we have 22 squads battling it out for Bracket B. All members of the squads here medyo present at kompleto tayo. 78 players this time for this setup, favoring basically the southeastern side of our map. No? Medyo near New Vision City, pero most of these squads pushing up north pa rin. So again, it's gonna be the same playset for most of these teams. Pero I guess medyo mukhang sanitarium is the way to go for everybody else. Medyo delicates kung hindi man sa football field. Mukhang medyo payapa ang squad letter M sa New Vision City Medyo ito yung magiging question sa mga to kung sino ang unang tatakbo. But let's see where we find the first action here in the first minutes of the game. Gaba.
There you have it. Maraming mga players ang nagkasabay-sabay on certain spots. So I agree with the question. Papalag ba sila? Or aalis and magsisecure? But Dawn opening it up. Knocking down one from the Team Euro. Pero hindi pa natutuluyan yon. Just able to knock it down. And tingnan natin kung magkakaroon ng engagement from the side of Leap and Euro on their side. But so far, LV and Ivy mukhang ang LV ang lalayo. Your team number 11, Levantis Valor, na sila muna ang bibitaw on the meantime and will try to play it safe on their side. Again, this is gonna be your Levantis Valor, Hermoine MC, your team number 11.
Minsan okay lang talagang bumitaw pag mga ganitong sitwasyon. Ano? Umuhugot for today's video. When it comes to really those engagements, if you're not yet confident with your setup, it's okay to disengage. If you can, if you have no choice really to go in for the push, go in for that already.
Yes.
Speaking of which, medyo royal here. Pinaabangan ng konti ang MW here sa baba. Let's see if they want to go in for this push already. Fate, medyo thinking about it already, whether to go in for this one. They have the advantage so far, no? Pero it looks like it's not gonna be an advantage. It's the 1v4 situation. Fate would be absolutely insane here if he or she wants to engage with this one. Pero mukhang yun ang magiging sitwasyon. Naipit na. Fate try to go in the push, but unfortunately, bagsak na po courtesy of Aztec, and that finish is there already. Yun ang medyo wag nating gagawin. If you are not in the favorable situation when it comes to 1v4, don't give up the high ground. Sayang
I agree. Secure the high ground, secure the position, and maybe find that yung minimal error from the opposing player para makapag-reposition or makapalag. And going to the side naman ng team number 14 natin, your team AXP AP, playing this on a trio scenario. Kaninang bracket A, dad, meron din tayong trio. At sa bracket B naman natin ay meron din tayong makikita ang trio. We are now down to 77 players and still 22 teams. Isa pa lang ang napipitas. Malamang sa malamang mai-scan at may babalik. But the Team Pave going in against BSN. Nagpapalagan sila dito. Mukhang walang hindi gusto umalis. And Pave siya able to get some kills there. And clip naman madadali si Kyoka with that AK-117. That's gonna be 3 kills already for the team of Pave.
Si James sinampa na yung sasakyan sa bubong, pero Shiro may survive this one as Pave basically backing out already and perhaps leaving him alone for now, at least have an opportunity to get the rest of the team back up and running with the scan. So medyo at least good thing for them. Although they lost that initial engagement, at least hindi naman to about kill points, it's still placement. Yeah. So Shiro still has the opportunity to get the rest of the team here. So it's just really a matter of doing that right now. But of course, for the rest of the squad, same thing pa din. As much as possible, if it is unnecessary for you to engage, it is definitely something that you should do. Pero for XP, honestly, at this point, I would have just finished this one off already. That's one less team that you have to worry about. That's one less team for you to deal with during the end of the zone. So para at least, kumbaga, bawas na yung problema mo. Konti na lang yung kailangan mo alalahanin, and hopefully, the rest of the squads will have to deal with these other teams as well.
I definitely agree. And also, I just want to bring this up, right? So we are seeing a lot of misdirection classes being utilized by the players. And just so you know, Yes, a smoke bomber ay mabilis with a continuous damage, but when it comes to speed and consistency, misdirection po ang nagwawagi. Mas mabilis si misdirection, i-combine mo pa ng mas magandang wild card on your advantage, and tulad ng kanina, yung last remaining player nila ay naka-misdirection class, utilizing the movement speed plus a wild card to enhance that speed is gonna give him yung malata flash na bilis ba. Mabilis na makukuha yung downtime. Mabilis makakatamboy si Royal sumusugod dito with a smoke bomber. But no, what happened right there? Yuri able to knock down Seb of the Team Royal just like that. I think they tried to go for the dog tag, but then facing off a full squad waiting for that ambush. At nandito naman ang ating mga Team Euro, your team number 3, Euro Artemis, just holding up on one single location. And one good thing here is magkakamukha sila. Pare-pare sila ng operator or character na ginagamit. Hence, that's gonna go with a little bit of confusion, lalo na kung meron silang trickster. Kung meron man. Going naman sa side ng ZG natin, going against the Team IV, Miss Trevor will be taken out by Crip with a sniper and a headshot. That is one good round of opening it up. Si Crip naman madadali ni Zijang with that SMRS, the pseudo sniper, ika nga, napalalagan with that SMRS. Nagkakasiguro na, ZG going in for the push. IV Hajime, Miss Trevor will be taken out by Razor and Crip from their encounter for Crip dito. And knockdown na, going in for the rescue. Napipitas isa-isa ang mga ZG and si Dots and si Crip are the last two players standing for your team. Number 19, your ZG Shadow. So tingnan natin, will they be able to cast their shadow around?
ZG Shadow has to like not engage out of the moment kasi alanganin sila dito. But unfortunately, that is the unfortunate play. Defender coming in hot right there. Zijang trying to get hit, pero the backstab from Hajime right there connecting perfectly. E-Dot and Crip down and out already. So napita sila lahat dito ng IV. I believe this is this is IV, no? Poison Ivy Omni ang nakapitas. Mukhang malakas pa rin talaga tong squad na to hanggang ngayon. As in.
I agree. Poison Ivy able to get that wipeout at ang ating mga leap main naman mukhang nagpapakitang Galas then on their side. That's Sato able to get that kill and Oden naman comes into the play. 3 players lang ang naglalaro for your team number 21, your leap main. We have Layla, Sato, and Don playing for the placing, and so far they got 2 kills already. Mukhang hindi rin sila nagiging super aggressive knowing that they have that short-hand disadvantage when it comes to number of players alive. But looking at that class, they have Medic, Smoke Bomber, and Ninja class for them to utilize or survive and even get some wild cards on their advantage.
Ayun na nga. So medyo nakita na natin yung utilization of the wildcards here. No? So it's really a matter of, unfortunately, it's at either what you find and utilize it, or at least if you can trade it with your teammates, no? Kung ano yung mas babagay at mas magagamit yun ng maayos. But now, of course, here, Omega, just all alone basically here at this point dahil medyo malayo si Hangin. Nasa Himpapawid pa ata, perhaps, dahil wala siyang kasama dito. Will not be engaging for sure with anyone right now. At least, survival is key here for Omega and the rest of the team. Meanwhile, this is an interesting setup. Compared to Bracket A, which 90% of the squads were stationing themselves outside of the zone, at least half is inside already.
Yes.
So medyo iba yung galawan din ng mga to. So mas gusto nila na either perhaps go to the boxes already para makakuha ng kanilang custom loadouts, or gets those plates already for them, those armors, para at least mas makunat sila as the game progresses. But for the rest, they're still playing that edge zone setup for these some of these squads. So you can see a mix of techniques here for Bracket B.
Mix of techniques, really, because again, if you want to play aggressive, then by all means. If you want to play passive, then why not? Right? It's really depending on your class, really depending on your wild card. And just to bring this up to attention, no? Sige, on the surface, or based na nakikita natin sa screen, barilan. That's about it. But honestly, there's a lot going on in the background, especially with these wild cards involved. Meron dyan, pag nag-heal yung kakampi mo, mahihil kayong lahat. Pag nag-plate yung kakampi mo, mahihil din kayong lahat. So there's a lot of team play opportunity, a lot of combination with these wild cards to utilize as a team for the rest of the rounds. And now for the Team Leap. Oh, back on that 4-man. There you go. Mukhang napunta lang pala sa flight zone ng isa nating player. So there you go. Glad, Layla, Sato, and Dawn back on a full squad power. At sa R20 naman natin, able to get some kills against the players of the Team HS. And so far, your Leap main is still holding up this little bit of a high ground for themselves. Dito lang muna sila kanina. Dito natin sila nakita. And up until now, they are still on the same spot. Going naman sa ating team number 2, your team Revenant Esports, just going in for the rally call, 4-man power, and gonna go roam around the map to maybe get some fights or maybe get some better loots or wild cards or even arsenal guns for themselves.
For sure. So medyo ito yung technique na iba. Upgrade muna tayo habang hindi pa masyadong big. That's still a good technique, especially for these squads. No? Pero this time, this is a whole different story again. For OK here, their house, they're basically positioning themselves at this house, using this as their safe ground, making sure na whoever comes from that zone, I guess yun yung medyo sa kanila sa babakbak. Or B, they're just gonna wait off until all the chaos ensues. Saka na sila lalabas pag konti na lang. That's still a possible technique for some of them. Meanwhile, squad letter E here, and E is of course Noble Reality Kings, trying to perhaps see some action here for the side. So medyo ang kalaban nila dito ay ang nagiinit na Leap na nasa kabilang dulo. Pero I don't think they'll be able to engage completely right there and there. I don't think they have the distance power to deal with them for now. So perhaps that's not gonna be a good situation. Just probably comms lang. Just information, rely to the team, and then plan your attack perhaps, or at least if there's somebody else coming in sa kanila sa pumush. As you can see, for Nobility Reality, they're just staying outside of that zone, waiting for Leap to either get out. Siguro pag takbo nila sa kanilang nila babanatan. That's a possible technique. Let's see how they approach this one.
Agreed. Let's see how the teams will be approaching one another. Pero mukhang umiikot na ang ating team NE or your Noble Reality Kings. On the side of Leap naman, they will be housing that ORV as well para makaikot mga ronda at makita pa ang ibang pwesto na pwedeng puntahan. Sa MW naman natin, trying to secure that high ground. And look at that. Liam will take a kill against Sakai of the team IME on their region, having some engagement from their side, and that's how they wanna open it up. For the team of Most Wanted naman, your team number 8 still trying to get that high ground, but going to the side of B and K, or your team number 12, your team Templar, Smoke Bomber comes into the play. Isa sa kanila dito ay napatumba na, going in for the rescue. 3 players still alive and kicking. Magtatayo na nga isa nilang player, and now throwable comes into the action. There you go, Tango Ace going in hand-to-hand with one another with some shotgun, and Tango will be taken out by Ace of BNK. That's gonna be 2 kills for the team BNK, still on a full squad power and able to survive that, even maybe get some better loots or better wild cards.
Ayan, so definitely good setup there for BNK, no? So that's a good technique on how to really engage with these situations. Hindi masyado aggressive. Saktong tama lang, good rotation and how to deal with your opponents. This time, this is a terrain advantage for both MW and their opponents at the side. Squad letter 2, I think that's Revenant Esports na nasa kabilang bundok. Or I think it's also Unbound as well. So medyo they're just trying to hide from each other's shadows here basically. So Unbothered and MW ang medyo nagtataguan dito sa bundok. This is again, how do you deal with the terrain that you're dealing with? Do you simply expose yourselves immediately? Pero mukhang ang eyes ng Unbothered ay nasa Leap sa baba. Hindi man lang doon sa nasa kabilang side nila because they don't really have a good visual for MW. But I can't chew. I guess perhaps it's going to go for an indirect check here already for that team and Unbothered and MW as well. So medyo for MW, tamang chill lang, tamang tago. This is a good technique here. If they surprise Unbothered here, they have the advantages. It just so happened that they have a weird setup on the terrain. If Unbothered push back, doon sila may ipit. So they need to have eyes here on the MW side as well. So mukhang medyo aatras na muna ang Unbothered. Meanwhile, we're gonna shift this time for VVV Esports. One of the OGs here definitely might need to deal with Leap here and AXP from out the other side. So medyo watak-watak ng konti, pero let's see if this one works out for them.
Let us see on gagawin ng ating BBV. Manny Bitchin, nakapalaga na nga, and EZJ able to knock down Flex with that SMRS. And look at that, Risky, just like that, will be the last player standing for the team VVV. And si Don naman able to get that punk up. And Risky going in, and si Pico naman na itayo pa, babalik pa sa action. Na-scan na rin ang dog tag na kanilang mga kasama, may babalik pa ang iba pa mga players of the team VVV or your team number 22. Going sa side ng AXP naman, dalawa pa sila dito natitira. We have Norby and CJ on their side. Flex is already on the revive flight. Nasa harapan na ang mga Royal at ang ating Leap Esports. Sato God able to get that kill against Royal. Rush from that encounter. Risky naman trying to risk it all of the firing some gunshot and now using that snowboard to reposition on a better spot at makapag-group sa kanyang kakampi. Ang ating RVNT naman pinapalagan din ng mga VVV. Si Giro naman madadali ni Hangin of the team DU. Zone is really challenging right now and this is a very challenging terrain. Yung slope niya, the upper ground, the lower slopes, the higher grounds are very interesting. There's a lot of gameplay that they can do. They want to play for the low grounds, play for the peaks, then all. They want to play for the high ground and get that bird's eye view advantage, then why not? There's a lot of possibility when it comes to positioning and gameplay that they want to do, but so far you lead main with 4 kills and still a full squad power, and we are now down to 17 teams alive for this bracket B.
17 teams pero ganito na lang kalit yung zone. Eto na naman po tayo mga kaibigan. This time, Revenant trying to go in for the push here from the high ground advantage. Medyo nakakadilihan. As you mentioned nga, no, Gama, no, this entire setup, even with that cluster grenade, is definitely a good equalizer right there. So medyo nakakadurugan ng konti with that clusters here, no. So far, Leap still alive, Revenant still there, I guess. MW still also on the side. So this is a real interesting situation. If you're not really adept to fighting when it comes to this certain terrains, mahihirapan ka talaga. Unfortunately, Revenant had to give up their position from that setup because they are unable to engage correctly with their opponents. So they need to get out. But unfortunately, that's gonna put them in Leap's scouts basically, no. So medyo this time iba naman ang sinisilip din ng MW. Meron sila sa baba, meron sila sa taas, pero may nandun sa sulok na pave. So medyo for now hindi pa sila nagpaparamdam, but this time for the rest it is absolute chaos here, left, right, and center. Glad trying to go in for the manages to do so. Shuts down Aztec already, and of course, eto na. Kumukonti na po tayo na kumukonti. But still, look at how they play in this terrain. This is a very difficult one. This takes a lot of significant skill set and practice to make sure that you're able to engage with your opponents at this angle.
I agree because now bracket A is almost the same with bracket B. We are now approaching the final moments of this bracket B, and yet we still have 14 teams alive. So dito na magsisimulang maging gera, maging balagbagan ang ating mga teams and players. Sabayan kung sabayan, mata sa mata, ang ngipin sa ngipin, at ating mga DDK naman medyo naiipit. Merong kalaban sa taas, sa kaliwa, at sa kanan nilang side. So they really need to be careful how they want to tread the terrain. Smoke bomb comes into the play, and snowboard naman coming from Sleepy, trying to survive and trying to find a better ground at nakakaubusan ng mga players. NT versus RVNT, AXP versus another one, DTK versus DU. Si Hangin madadalin is Sleepy with that PPSH. That's gonna be a smoke into the action as well for the team BNK naman. Dalawa na sila matitira for the Poison Ivy. They still have a full squad power and they have a good cover on their end. Less throwables come into the play for the team Poison Ivy. Still having that 4-man power with 4 kills naman sa kanila. Tamang tutok si Zijang, just trying to fire some few shots, at ang dami pang players sa labas at ang dami players sa taas. We have Leap and Pave challenging one another. Leap going in for the engagement. BNK Ace will be taken out by Mentos of that team NE, and this is gonna be the Atlas side for the Poison Ivy. Dito sila mag-hold up, dito sila magta-try mag-survive, pero pinasok, sinugod at challenge ang kanilang pwesto. Risky getting that kill. Hajime now will be taken up, pero si Hajime makakapalag din against Pico and Risky. Both of them taken out. Ivy, Haha, and Zijang, the last 2 players alive, medic into the action. Zijang going for the rescue. Miss Trevor back up on his or her feet, ready for that action. Pero si Hajime naman down because of the blue zone. Look at that damage coming from the blue zone. That is not a joke. That is not easy. 5 teams left. Isang team na lang ang mabura dito. Secure na yung 4 na teams.
Indeed, and looks like that's gonna be one member here from Revenant ang medyo holding off for dear life here. Leap also not in a good situation. They are basically down to Don and Satong here as much as he can. Pero mo si Don ang bubuhat ng lahat ng ito. Don trying to go for the push. Pabik, Clip RX here jumping up from top, trying to go for the finish. Managing to get those easy takedowns already. Pabe also doing their best to shut down. They still have a 4-man stack. Revenant Esports, solo na lang dito si B. Trying to survive here. Pero Ivy ang babanata, manages to do so. Monde is down. Pero medyo pa siya nahanap na isa. Okay, Cherry, perhaps going to go for the push. So far, Revenant decides to survive here. It is an absolute monster. Pave Esports have the high ground advantage. Dio Omega somehow has this house to themselves. So medyo ito yung ginagamit ng cover. Pero let's see who makes the first mistake here. Definitely Revenant B here is an absolute monster. Surviving, thriving here. Pero ito, 2v2 situation. Omega, lalabas. Na-flash ng konti pero hindi pa rin mag-i-engage. Unfortunately, Pave from the high ground shuts it down. Now it's down to Pave and DU here. They are getting pummeled already. Pave, 4 people stacked here. It's gonna be over soon. And that is it for Bracket B. What a
my
way to
goodness
end
me.
was Pave and Victa. High ground advantage and the W securing first place. Pero not bad for Revenant B. Kahit solo, pumush pa ng third
Yeah.
place. And of course for DU, smart move there for DU main. They just held on to that spot. Okay na sila kahit anong mangyari. Second place is good. What was really interesting here was Poison Ivy had the good idea, but when they got stormed out, they failed. Plus the zone, nadali sila sa labas.
Oh
Good
my
idea, bad
goodness me.
execution.
I agree, I agree. And the key highlight there, honestly, is for the team of Pave and Victa securing that good high ground. Securing that good high ground. For the rest of the match, for the rest of that final moments ng ating round, they really did well. They really did that securing that high ground ng matagal na panahon. And of course, here are your top 4. We have your team number 7, which is Pave and Victa. Team number 13, which is your team, DU Main. And securing for our third place, we have team number 2, your Revenant Esports. And lastly, securing fourth place, your team number 15, your team of, oh, sorry, is that 15? There you go. Team number 15, that's your team.
Fine.
Okay, fine, never mind. That is one good engagement.
Oh, congratulations to these 4 teams. Sayang for Poison Ivy and Leap
Yeah.
Main, no? Sayang kasi 5 and 6 na lang sila but unfortunately they did not survive that final zone and that initial engagements, you know. But nevertheless, that is the situation we have for Bracket B. It's a whole different play style. So medyo iba
Yeah.
yung naging execution ng mga players for Bracket B, no? But let's see naman kung anong observations ng ating mga hosts. Sharlene, Doc Z. Siyempre, unahin ko na si Sharlene. Ayan.
Here
Hindi,
you
ako
go.
naman this time.
Sige, sige.
Ako naman kasi
Ready ka
kanina
na?
nagkaroon na ako ng technical difficulties. So, guys, grabe. Grabe yung nangyari ngayon kasi makikita natin comparing with the bracket A, yung bracket A, yung last zone natin is plain fields eh. But
Mhm.
this time, merong bundok.
May high grounds.
And naalala ko kanina sinabi ni JD the Caster Dad na don't give up the high ground. At sino bang nanalo this time? Yung hindi nag-give up ng high ground. 'Di ba? So talagang perfect talaga ang positioning, guys. Minsan dun nadadali sa positioning talaga. So ayun, yun lang talaga. Sayang rin, nasayangan ako sa Lip at saka sa Poison Ivy kasi sila yung familiar names na natatandaan ko last CG na nakapasok sa finals. And actually, I was rooting for Lip kasi syempre content creator ko si Don.
Oo
And
nga.
nasad ako kasi naipit sila at
Mhm.
naipit sila sa position nila. So,
Hindi
sayang.
ko kumbaga parang kinapos eh, gano'n yung nangyari
Kinapos eh, talaga
kasi
eh.
okey naman yung kung may kill points, pero kasi top 4 talaga yung hinahanap natin
Mhm.
dito sa, playoff stage natin. So yes, kahit na nalaglag ang Leap, I'm sure babawi yan kasi marami pa tayong tournaments in the
Yes.
future and
Yes, hopefully,
this is
Tito Kodem.
yes, this is just the beginning. So excited na ako for bracket Bracket C na tayo? Uy,
Yep.
in fairness, bracket C na tayo. And I know maraming familiar names dito and mga up-and-coming teams na talaga nakapasok dito sa bracket C. Pero again, ipakita lang natin kung sino yung top 4 natin for bracket B.
And checking again our stats for bracket B and Gamma.
Yes, there you go for our bracket B. Once again, securing the first spot coming in for the team PAVE. Top 2 naman is gonna be your team DU. Top 3 with Revenant Esports and team, or top number 4 naman, your team Okay, fine, never mind. So these teams, these players will secure their spot for the grand finals. And again, this is why it is challenging. This is already the playoffs, and we are going in for the placement again. We are just trying to filter out and sino ang magpo-proceed for the grand finals. May it be you, magkakaipitan ba? Did you guys have a good decision on taking the high ground? Maganda ba yung puwesto na inyong kinuha? And I think one also, let's say, good advantage here, or the good point here that I would like to state is yung last na CG natin, merong variety, merong spice, and that is the crime map. And this time, there's another variety spicing it up, introducing again the wildcard system. So every CG, every community gladiators that we had so far is giving us this spice, giving us the variety, let's say a momentarily of surprise for the teams and players, not just opting in for the regular gunplay, for the regular gameplay that most ranked games goes on, but this time around adding up different some spice. Isn't that right, Dad?
Oh, definitely. Those changes, fortunately for some of them, perhaps they haven't really adjusted just yet.
Mm.
Because this is absolutely new, no? Parang, I think they just came in like a week before the Community Gladiators. 'Di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Parang a week
Few
before
days.
tayo mag-official. Saka lumabas yung ano, yung update. So, I guess for some of them were not able to really have the time to like practice really. Even though
Adjust.
you've
Mm.
Mhm.
you've already
Adjust.
adjust, medyo mahirap talaga actually mag-adjust. Although parang in your head, it seems fine, but of course with the patch notes and the updates for particularly for the classes, you will still need to re-engage. Plus, with the addition of this, parang especially pag ang setup mo, nga sabi ko, pag naka-medic ka, tas naka-medical kit ka, iyakan na yan. Or
Yes.
kung hindi man,
Feeling
naka-quick
galing.
recovery kayong lahat.
Mm-hmm.
Or for those na naka-scout, mag-Hawkeye ka, which is basically giving you the opportunity to see everybody else. So medyo
Yes.
may mga konting may mga konting advantages na nakikita yung ibang players who are using the wildcards now than those who are not, or those who don't have it in their loadout. So medyo yun yung how do you deal with that if you're unable to pick up these things? Paano mo maka-counter yung
Yeah.
advantages na meron yung ibang teams? So I guess that are some of the things that they have to think of for the first 8 squads na nakapasok na sa ating final. So medyo ibang galawan na tayo pagdating nating final. So I'm sure after tonight medyo babalik na yun ng konti sa so scrims, balikin sa lobby, re-engage with it, try to check kung ano ba yung kailangan nating i-adjust, relearn
Mm-hmm.
the game so to speak until you're ready to go for the finals. Kasi syempre, matagal na kayo pinaglalabanan natin dito.
Yes.
Yes.
Ako naman, ang parang if ako yung sasali, wow, talagang nilagay ko yung
Yes.
shoes ko, 'di ba? Kung nilagay ko yung sarili ko sa shoes nila, if ako yung sasali, I think if I'm using a class na medyo manipis or mabilis siya ma-damage, siguro ang
Mm-hmm.
gagamitin ko is medical kit. So,
Okay.
puwedeng yung mga, parang makakapal naman or yung parang example defender, igniter, yan kasi sila yung mga makunat, 'di ba? Sa tingin ko, puwedeng iba yung gamitin nila para naman meron silang parang additional class kasi yung
Yeah.
wildcard for me.
Mhm.
Mm.
So,
Kumbaga
parang
kung ano yung nako-compromise ng
kung
class,
wala ka,
yun yung
yun yung kunin mo.
yes,
Yun.
tama,
So, parang
tama.
puwede din gano'n, depende talaga yan sa mga maglalaro. But, Dad and Gamma, sino ba yung mga teams na, aabangan natin for bracket C?
All right, so we'll take it from here. Bracket C, we will be having your team, i.e. Equinox, FX Academy ETR, Most Wanted Bravo, Daigo Genji Esports, Generals, Delta Rascals, YG Gang, VI Sola Invictus Team 2, Wolfpack, AE Wonderpirds, LPK Outlaws GTX, Bardagulan Esports Main, and the rest, Dad.
Rain YSL, Vixens Esports will be here. Bracket C, RK Fury, LPK Empress GTX, ELV Esports YBC, Overlord, DBK Esports Outlaw, APE Candy, 4K Overload, and Vitality. Ayan.
Oh.
There you
Wow,
have it,
madami-dami
diba?
tayong mga
Familiar names.
Yes.
Oo,
Yeah.
ng mga clans na nandito, and marami din nagko-comment dito kanina na na inaabangan din talaga nila kung kailan lalabas yung 4K. Pero sa akin,
Oo.
minsan wala din yan sa mga familiar names kung sino yung nakakapasok. So,
Kasi
abang-abang
actually yung
tayo.
nangyari dun sa bracket B, 'di ba?
Oo.
Sayang.
O batak na batak pa sa mga ano yun guys, sa mga scream, sa mga tour na. Pero
Mhm.
nakita nyo guys, talagang strategy kasi isang beses ka lang magkamali, laglag ka na. Di ba? So, ayan. In a short while, the bracket C will begin na rin. And guys, kanino ba kayong teams naka-root this time? Sino bang mga inaabangan nyo?
Yes,
And
share nyo
also-
naman sa comment section.
Yes. Guys, like and share the stream also. Sobrang appreciate namin if you will leave a like and comment or share the live. Pero, kalmahan nyo lang, guys. Huwag kayo masyado mag-away-away dyan sa comment section.
May
Mainit,
nag-aaway-away
mainit.
ba? May
Kalma
nag-aaway
lang.
ba?
Ang
Mainit
init
ba?
eh. Ang init eh. Playoffs pa lang eh. Oh, mainit na yung mga
Daig nyo pa yung
supporters.
lobby Daig nyo pa yung lobby sa init.
Kaya nga. Pero yan guys, anong oras nga ba tayo magsisimula? But yes, congratulations sa mga nakapasok na top 4 teams from Bracket A and Bracket B. Ngayon naman, malapit na tayo sa Bracket C. We are so excited, guys! Dami nga nagsasabi dito ng porking. So, guys, again, wala kaming bias dito. Talagang community to, community tournament, kung sino talaga yung nagbabatak, siya talaga yung makakapasok. Ganun talaga yung mangyayari.
Yes.
Kayo, Dad and Gamma, anong masasabi niyo doon?
All right, there you go. Thank you so much, ladies, Sharlene and Doc Z. But now our bracket C is about to start. So again, me and JD will take it over once again. So
Bye!
there you go. With
Yan.
that said, Dad. So I like the idea here na pinpoint or that they're trying to pinpoint, which is the opportunity. So yes, we understand that you as an individual have a favorite team, have a favorite player, and have a favorite clan that you want to support. But let's go back a little bit to the root one. Community Gladiator. Hence, it's about the community itself, giving the chance to other teams, to other clans to rise up, build up their fame, build up their competitive prowess, and maybe secure even a better spot on the next upcoming tournaments. Even though I hope that these players, that these viewers rather, on our comment section, I know that you guys are getting spicy right there, but let's try to make it, let's say, on an analytical side. What do you think, right? Can this team or this player might have done to have a better output or to have a better outcome? So let's leave it at like that, not just some comments on a bragging rights, but make it on an analysis, right? Isn't that right, Dad? And looks like this is it for this.
Which is
Now let's
possible.
see
Yeah,
how.
okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Nawala.
Dad. Go ahead. There you go. I
Nawala
thought
yung
I
cam ko
lost
eh.
you there. Yeah.
Sorry,
But you're
nawala
back.
yung cam ko lang.
Welcome back, Dad. So yeah,
Andito
what's
pa
your
ako.
thoughts? Mhm.
Ayan, sabi ko nga just a reminder for everyone to be good and play nice lang, especially at the comment section. We know you're all excited kasi syempre alam natin na nasabik tayo with the BR community tournaments that has been a while since we've had one. So, just keep it clean here at the comment section. But nevertheless, we also want you to really root for your respective teams here. And we're really appreciative that you're showing your supports here sa sa comment section with these teams, and I'm sure you're all proud of your teammates na kasama natin ngayong gabing ito, and of course for the rest of the brackets as well in the future. Pero before anything else lang, special shoutout lang po sa lahat na nagsasabing ang pogi daw ni Gamagori.
Uy,
Tad na po yung comment section na ang pogi daw ni Gama.
what happened there? Oh my goodness. Yo, thank you so much. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Community Gladiators, Fortitude Royale Bracket C is now on its way, and now the players are dropping in and hot. And yes, your most awaited team is here for King's Overload. Let's see if they can rise up for their name. here we go.
That is indeed the question, ano. So, as you've seen earlier in the bracket B, it is not just about your name, it's not just about your prowess, this is about strategy. How do you survive this entire map with that opportunity to place yourself at the top 4? That's the goal here. It is more than just the kills, it is about your strategy. You have to be smart here. Aggression is also key, pero you have to be smart and aggressive at the same time. So, medyo, yun yung mga bagay na kailangan nating pagtuunan ng pansin here with this game, as we of course start off already 22 squads here. Delta showing off already, at the same time Viper nagpaparamdam na rin, medyo solid engagement for their team. Meanwhile here ELV medyo tahimik pa ng konti, but Yang managing to find Yuri already post cam, no, so medyo yun yung naging initial engagement nila. But Delta, those bag unfortunately is down already. Fang here on the side needs to deal with Viper on the other end of this building. They have to make sure that they can do it just right. Medyo dose up, medyo mukhang inaabangan ng konti. Delta Fang will not push through just yet. So kailangan medyo, wag ka muna aalis basta-basta. I think we're having some difficulties here, but all good. Again, this mythic class, ito na naman. Dito mo talaga nakikita how well do you utilize these things eh. When is the perfect situation to use them and how do you do it?
I agree how you are going to execute the game plan that you have, maybe as an individual or as a team. Now, going back here, your team of Viper, down to their 3 players alive. Klinks is still bleeding out, trying to survive out there, but Klinks is now being rescued by their teammates. We still have 22 teams. Wala pang nauubos, wala pang nawa-wipe out. Yeah, a little bit of some knockdowns here and there, but not enough to cause a havoc, not enough to cause a wipe out. Vitality Claudia on the other side, just looting up the place and making sure that they're ready for the engagement. But we can see from the map that there are different teams around the area. That's going to be the team LPK around the vicinity, and also another color, another team coming from the different side of the building that maybe, just maybe, they'll be engaging with one another or not. It really depends on how they want to play. So bracket A went out passive aggressive. Bracket B is also passive aggressive, but now down to bracket C. Are we gonna be seeing the same gameplay of passive aggressiveness, or is it gonna be more of the aggressive side?
From the looks of it, medyo they're really eager to engage. From what we're seeing, so medyo active yung kill feed natin. And we can definitely see that they're in the idea of making sure that they eliminate as many opponents as they can. And then when the time comes that they need to go for push for the zone, konti na lang yung mga teams na kailangan nilang asikasuhin, kumbaga. Fewer teams to deal with at the edge, that's definitely gonna put them in a better situation. Now Delta definitely using that scout there to make sure that they have eye set on the Viper clan here on the other side, pero medyo not engaging just yet. Ryota try to fire up and let's see kung medyo mapapalabas niya ang Viper there. Pero meanwhile, lipat tayo dito sa IE. Tikro and the rest of the crew here, medyo gumugusto, humahanap, hinahabol ang MV ata na nasa likod. And nga also making sure their presence felt here off cam. Eto na, nagkaharapan na. Zero, try to go for the push. But medyo hindi pa kumakagat just yet. Nakatakas pa ng konti, but down na rin ang Renba from Vixen, and the finish is there already. But still 22 squads pa rin, kahit medyo may mga engagements, wala pang wipeout na nangyari. These squads still has the opportunity to come back strong here for Josh and Nero to rescue back Renba and Alex.
Yes, and we saw some back-to-back action, right? However, if you're going to be noticing up there, it's still 22 teams. No wipeout just yet. No teams has been eliminated so far. So everyone here is still trying to survive. Maybe down to their 2 players, maybe down to their 1 player. But nonetheless, they're still alive and kicking. On the side of the team number 7, your team PVA is on this side. Let's see if they will be going in for some engagement. They're just going in to secure some high grounds. They're not really aggressive just for the team PVA. For team number 7, going in for the airborne, trying to get that bird's eye advantage and maybe go for a better location. Maybe go for some loot, crate bags, or even some airdrops or arsenal drops. It really depends on how they want to do it. On the side of our team number 1, your IE Equinox or Immortal Esports Equinox, playing it safe, look at that. They're just trying to hold it up. They are already upgraded. They have guns, they have ammunitions, they have good mods as well, or attachments for those, and now just waiting for the opportunity. And for the side of team number 10, AE back into the windmill side. This is gonna be Despair with a sniper. And there's gonna be two of them really. We have Wavy here just on the left side, taking a pick with that sniper, trying to see if we can spot some different players. But on the side of RK versus Jen, Ludax will be taken out. Now Ryuzaki will be the last player standing for your team number 5, Team Generals. And now trying to maybe go in for the high ground. And let's see here. Oh, we have here Jen Wu as well. Two players left. However, Wu have a broken armor, and looks like Wu doesn't have any armor plates and just a medic class to play along with.
Medyo bad situation here for Zen here. Although they're definitely the idea to go for the high ground advantage, dealing with RK perhaps medyo trying to disengage. Medyo magkalayo kasi silang dalawa dito eh. So hopefully they can recuperate themselves, get some opportunities to find their equipment, at least find some good equipment for them before they engage with RK right now. But so far, I guess Gian and the rest of the crew does not really need to find Wu here. It's not really much of a threat. The bigger threat right now is definitely that zone. To get out, is that gonna be the case? Medyo mukhang yun na rin ang idea ni Wu here. So medyo unfortunately, medyo manipis na lang siya. Pero mukhang napitas pa ni Ben. Pag-angat kanina doon with that sniper. Yun lang, hindi na umabot unfortunately. But now, of course, RK, definitely 2 frags to their name. But still outside the zone, have access to the vehicle. So they definitely have the better opportunity to push themselves there already. So at least wala na naman sila masyadong kalaban dito sa area na to. I'm sure they've already looted this area out. And the next goal for them definitely is push themselves inside the zone. As we see the map here, as we can see, we're about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Wow.
11 squads outside of the zone, the rest inside already. So medyo 50-50 galawan to. But most of them, as you can see, medyo almost inside already. People on the outpost almost secured already. People at the nuclear facility medyo secured them because that's already where our zone is. So everyone will definitely be pushing themselves for that squad letter HMU. If they can hold their ground already, pwede na lang abangan lahat ng pupunta, and hopefully they have the snipers to take out their opponent.
I definitely agree. And Ben with a sniper earlier on managed to do a quick scope and get that kill. However, again, I want to highlight this. We have seen a lot of actions already, or let's say a few actions here and there, and some action coming from the kill feed. Look at that. Still, 22 teams alive and standing. Still, 22 teams for these players. And look at this, your team FX maybe going in for a medic strategy here. They're still outside of the zone. And mind you, that is far away from the safe zone. So I don't know if the team FX will just hold up there until the bitter end, or will they be pushing forward as well? Because again, once the zone closes in, I think, right, on the 4th or 5th zone, it's gonna be really risky. It's gonna be really dangerous because the blue zone will be packing a lot of damage, and the team IE is now engaging with a different team. And look at that. Now, finally, 21 teams left. There's a team that already been wiped out from our eyes, and ELV still using that medic class. Jagger going in for that, and most wanted Blink going in for the high ground. There's a different team around the vicinity. That's going to be the team of Generals. However, your team number 3, your most wanted Bravo, is not engaging yet. They're holding up, crouch and proning. Oh, Blink with some racket here. Let's see, FSJ, will that be a hit? It's incoming missile coming in, but nope. I don't think that's gonna be hitting the mark.
Survives that one, Ryuzaki managed to survive that. But unfortunately, he's outside of the zone. So medyo, I guess, the goal is probably get the rest of the team back up and running. At least si Wu, no? That's the goal, definitely. Managed to pick up already, get that motorcycle, get back into the zone, can first, takto, okay na. So hopefully, umabot pa sa loob yan. So that's a good strategy. So buti na lang dito mama yung launcher kanina. At least that's gonna put them in a 2-man situation advantage. But nevertheless, no, again, it's still 21 squads at this point. As you can see, the zone is very small already for most of these players. They're still definitely holding off in the engagement. They're still trying to make sure that they have all the equipment and all the things that they need for their team. But again, is this strategy gonna work for them this time? So medyo, there is a significant distance between where most of them are versus the actual zone. So medyo masyado silang nabababan. But for the squad that are already inside the zone, again, as I mentioned, if you find the supporting coming in already, if you have the location advantage, you could just shut them out already right then and there. In that case, this is gonna be the case. But of course, it's really a matter of time kung medyo ipit pa ng konti. So far, for IE, ito, papasok na rin sila dito. At mukhang nagpapasukan na rin lahat ng squads natin sa ating zone as we are moving closer and closer to the end of our game.
Closer and closer. We can see now that the zone is closing in, and let's see how the teams and players will be engaging with one another. Medic here coming from Secro. They are fully upgraded, all of them, for the side of Team IE, but we are not yet seeing another engagement. Jackal here from the Team DG. He will be knocked down because of that blue zone. Because again, this is a very thin line that you want to tread in. Going in for the medic strategy with the wild cards on, playing outside of the zone is not a bad idea. However, you need to be very mindful of that damage because this blue zone damage is not a joke. And going to the side of IE, securing that high ground and still outside of the zone, looks like this is how they want to do it. But for the team, Vitality and LPK, having some engagement on their side of the map. ELV Kian will be taken up. Ooh, LPK. Looks like they're playing aggressive here. For the side of Team Generals, Ryuzaki and Wu will be the last two players alive for their team. While the team Viper already have or still a full squad power and now trying to get inside of the zone. And Lucas will be taken out by 4 Kings of Vanta. And I believe Vanta is the newest player added for our team 4 Kings and already performing out.
So far, so good. Pero medyo still a quiet for most of these squads. Again, 20 squads remain as we have this zone at this point. Viper Clinks just hiding up from Meow and Pader. So medyo tago konti muna ang Viper against 4 Kings here. So they're trying to make sure that they have the advantage here against a very formidable squad. Meanwhile, APK just making sure to run down their opponents basically here. So medyo plus G and Kai, unfortunately, are down and out. Sinagasaan din ni Blink doon. Unfortunately, medyo nagkasagasaan na ito mga to. Again, it's not just a matter of your weapons. Even your vehicles can be used that same way as well. Pero medyo, I guess, for LP, medyo kailangan na nilang pumasok. They don't have, I guess, a medic already at this point. Perhaps that's gonna be the other 2 members na nawala sa kanila. No? But for the rest, again, 20 squads still remain. Most of them are still outside of the zone. It is still a matter of time before we actually see major and significant takedowns from these squads. At mukhang LPK medyo nasilip na medyo may tao doon. Teka, atras tayo. Ikot-ikot na lang muna. Hindi muna tayo sisilip basta-basta. At I guess, no, I think that's gonna be the case for them. They are not gonna move. They're probably waiting for DG to
Ooh.
give up their spot as well. Same thing with Viper. They perhaps are just waiting for that push, and that is good. No, the takedown is good. Managed to take down 1. Nyx trying to go for the push. Not just yet, pero may backdoor assist na agad from another team. Pero medyo may Viper pa doon sa kabilang side. Smoke coming in already. Just trying to finish this one off. Let's see if this one works finally. Not just yet, pero medyo gumulo na yung sitwasyon dahil dalawa na ang kailangang squad na alalahanin ng LPK here. Medyo nagkawatak pa sila ng konti dito. But let's see. Looks like we're gonna leave that action for now as Viper and Jackal just making sure to engage that square with Viper winning that one. Meanwhile, VTL Claude here, also outside of the zone. Medyo quiet. 3 frags to their name, but still, everyone is almost upgraded except for, well, Iyo lang pala upgraded. The rest, medyo kalmado pa. Mukhang nakita na si Shin. Long range takedown. Could not finish it just yet. But of course, the zone is gonna kick in. Now it's gonna put her in him in a bad situation. Paul try to push through pero may launch pa sa kabila. Ayan na. Eto na yung medyo question sa inyo. How do you deal with these situations?
How do you deal with this scenario? And there you go. Luens will be taken out by Vitality Paul. And the zone is closing in. So you need to worry about the opposing team. And you need to worry about the zone closing in. And you need to be mindful of your positioning. So there's a lot of matters that you need to be aware of. And you need to be mindful of. But look at that. 20 teams still alive and kicking on our third zone. 20 teams is still alive and kicking. Looks like our players on this bracket C is much more vigilant on how they want to play. Chifuyo will be taken out by Tokyo of the team Four Kings Overload. So we can see some action coming from the side of the Four Kings, just picking off here and there, playing for pickups and just trying to hold their ground for their own. Whilst the team BE going in for the engagement against the team ELV on their front. Let's see how they'll be able to get more action here while the team APE and 4K Ngao with a sniper getting that kill against Viper, Spinks, and Lucas as well will be taken out by 4 Kings. Ngao with a good juicy old sniper and a headshot. That is one good of an action coming from their side, but looking at the team ELV trying to survive and getting inside of the zone while the team Viper, Vitality, and ELV just all on the same spot. Vitality Cream still on a full squad power, but look at that. 6 kills now for them, playing a little bit of aggressive, holding their ground a little bit more passively. And the team of APE versus Generals is also having some engagements.
Ayun na nga, medyo, this is a matter of strategy, trigger discipline. Do you want to engage directly to your opponents as soon as they're visible, or you want them to draw themselves out a little bit better first before you fully engage? This is the question of how they want to approach this setup. And right now, as you mentioned, 17 squads remain, and look at that zone. It is absolutely small already, so we definitely expect a lot of action, and it's gonna be even crazier as the time progresses. So medyo mas magkakaipitan na po tayo ng konti dito. Speaking of which, the bridge coming in hot already. ELV trying to go push against Vitality here. So medyo nagkakaipitan ng konti, but could not connect just yet. But of course, for the rest of the squad, medyo kailangan nila lang i-focus ang pagpasok sa loob ng zone. So this is where things get ugly right now. It's just absolutely Nyao again making his presence felt right to shut down EO with the long range right there. Not shutting down MB as well. So medyo nagkakapitasan na po tayo dito. This is where the action and the craziness come into lie already. Meanwhile, Vanta dealing with Delta here. Trying to go for the push. Long range takedown. Could not finish just yet. Pero meron pang ibang tao nakasama doon. This time, Vanta, I set on the Delta. Up and top. Manages to shut down right there. Now with the nade kill on Squid. What an execution right there. And now 4K Pader dealing with a lot of opponents here. And it doesn't matter who they are. Ang ganda na positioning dito ng 4K. Look at this. Most of them are far out of the zone. Nyao is very aggressive. But they are just taking out all their opponents right there where they are. This is an absolute chaos. This is how you want to play this one. You're in the zone, pero everyone's getting taken out. Why? Because they're all taking damage at the same time.
Oh my goodness me, same time it is, and they are engaging at the same time with everyone against them, with the 4 Kings right in the middle of the action. But your 4 Kings overload is living up to the expectation and challenging all of the players here. There you go, Basico will be knocked down by Ngao Vanta on the backup, eliminating King Ray. Medic comes into the play, 14 kills now for the 4 Kings overload. Father, Vanta, Tokyo, and Ngao is doing a good job. However, Vanta will be taken out by LPKJ Camo with an SMRS. That's going to be another one down for the team. But Ngao going in for the fight. A little bit of a damage here and there, but that grenade breaking the armor of 4 Kings Ngao. And now the zone is shrinking in once again. So these teams and players are now being pushed to fight with one another. Just like so. 3 players now for the team of 4 Kings. Is still trying to dance away. Tokyo now with a snowboard. Batter with a good armor, good position. Oh, just beaming them down, lasering them down. Good aim and good control coming from Patter and Tokyo. The both of them now with a multi-kill as well. Now on a 10-kill streak. Now, your team of 4 Kings Overload is being really the highlight of this bracket. See, one engagement to another. There's going to be a new team engaging, but they are ready to go for the aim. But there you go. We're going to be praying for the prize now. Now will be taken out by APE. Maybe now it's going to be 2 players left, but Father will do the job, and we have a winner. Team number 21, your 4 Kings Overload lived up to the question, lived up to their name. So again, my question earlier before we even start the bracket C, will 4 Kings able to live up their name? And they answered it right on my face, right on our face. Yes, Gamagori. Yes, Dad. Yes, Kodem. We can.
21 frags. Imagine that at the very end of that zone, 21 frags. These squads really shutting down everyone. Now through the smoke, shutting everyone. Tokyo,
Mhm.
Kader, and Vanta really living up to their names, of course, securing their first spot. But APE also managing to secure second. WP, that is, of course, Wolfpack with the third, and Vitality coming in at fourth. So that was definitely the most intense last few minutes of the game. As you can see, no, medyo sobrang late na ng zone. But
Mhm.
4K did definitely live up to their expectations and the hype, just shutting down everyone from all angles. They did not have basically the advantage of terrain. Wala silang
Mhm.
advantage of terrain. They were almost at the open at certain points, but they managed to win the gunfights, which is very critical at this point. Yan ang naging sitwasyon natin. But of course, I wanna hear this time kung ano ang, basa nina Sharlene and Doc Z regarding this one. So medyo expectations met ba?
Yep.
Oo, nagulat kami, to be honest.
Nagulat kami
And
kasi
go,
Doc Z,
ikaw
ikaw nga
naman,
muna,
ikaw
ikaw
naman.
muna, ikaw
Ako,
muna,
ako,
ikaw
ako,
muna, oo.
ako. Kasi, to be honest, never nawala sa zone ang 4K.
Mhm.
Pasok lang sila. Unlike dun sa bracket A, 'di ba, halos lahat sila nasa labas ng zone. But this
Tama.
time sinecure ng 4K ang place nila sa sanitarium, which naging okay dahil nandun yung zone. And
Mm.
nagulat ako because, magkakahiwalay sila, hindi sila sama-sama sa isang place. May iba meron yung isa nasa loob ng bahay, yung isa nasa bundok. So, kanya-kanya silang kills kaya naman nag-accumulate sila ng 25 kills in total. Kaya grabe, grabe talaga ang nangyari. Sa tingin ko nakita nila ang tamang team sa isa't isa.
Ako tinatanong ko sa viewers kung sino yung ngaw-ngaw. Si
Mm.
Rosa pala yun.
Kaya nga,
Hmm.
dinosaur yun 'di ba?
Dinosaur
Nero.
ano yun, player yun, Kaya parang sabi ko, talagang talagang feeling ko siya yung nagga-guide this time dun sa team.
Yes.
Kasi siya yung parang medyo yung wisdom sa BR scene simula una pa lang hanggang ngayon na bumalik siya is talagang palong-palo yung tao. So, hindi naman kami bias pero kasi ang dami din nagsasabi na RG boys lang talaga yung 4K. Pero
Pero ngayon prino-ve
nagulat
nila.
ako dito
Mhm.
ngayon, parang
Mm.
perfect combination yung team nila ngayon kasi ang alam ko nagmi-mixed up sila ng players now
Yes.
and I think
Wish
ito
wish
yung
dapat.
tama yung sinabi ni Doc, ito yung perfect combination na players para sa overload. So,
Yes.
bukod sa 4K
Actually,
overload,
yung Vanta pala, grade 9 lang yun.
Weh,
Yes!
What?
what?
And new player siya, 'di ba? May sinabi sila na new player, grade 9 lang siya, kaya
oh, 'di ba
nakakagulat.
guys, hindi talaga din lahat ng parang yung mga baguhan pa lang hindi makakapasok sa
Competitive
finals.
scene.
Tingnan niyo naman 'to, 'di ba? Grabe nakakagulat. Pero again, can we check yung top 4 teams
Yes.
natin sa bracket C?
There you
Wow!
go.
Wow!
Oh my goodness me. Four Kings Overload rising up to the occasion, followed by our Alpha Prime Esports C or Candy. Next up would be your WP. And last but not the least is your team Vitality. So these teams, these players will be proceeding on the grand finals alongside with the top four of bracket B and bracket A. But now we are now trying to cook up for the next game. Again, that's gonna be bracket D.
Grabe
Halfway na
nasa bracket
tayo.
din na oo, malapit. D, E, F.
F,
Ay
oh,
malapit na,
lapit na.
malapit na talaga.
Nagbilang ka pa, Dok,
Oh, A, B, C, D, E, F. Ay malapit na talaga.
Yes, we are so excited. But again, congratulations sa mga top 4 teams that made it to the finals na. From brackets
Yes.
A,
See you
B,
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Sino kaya ang mananalo? We are halfway there. Pero again, we want to say hi to the viewers watching on
What's up,
Facebook,
guys?
YouTube, TikTok. Shout out everyone. Thanks so much for your support sa Garena, BR Community.
And if
Thank
you
you so
can
much.
like and share the stream more, let's go. Let's get it on.
Yes, yes, comment your favorite teams. But, guys, sabi nga ni Dad, ano yung sabi mo, Dad? Kanina, yung, ano,
Be
yung,
good and play nice.
yan,
Be
be good
good
and
and
play
play
nice. Pati
nice.
din sa mga viewers natin dyan na nanonood, be good. Be good lang.
Medyo
Kasi
okay
you're
lang
not
naman
playing
sila.
naman at the moment, so be
Oo,
good lang.
Be
yun
good
lang.
and be nice.
Medyo
Yes,
nice
be
na
good
naman
and be
ata sila.
nice.
Nice na naman
Yes.
ata sa comment. Medyo wala na
Yes.
yung may init ang ulo.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Nakapagpa-BP na yung mga high blood, okay? But again,
Grabe.
Gamagori, Dad, sino ba yung mga teams na ilulook forward natin for bracket D?
All right, for bracket D, we will be having Potato Aim Esports Conquerors, ULE Main, Empyrean Reborn, AXP Vencier, Pee-wee, Lunares Mirai, LE Zenith, Mystic, AV The Order, The Red Giants, Shadowfall, Oblivion Villain, House of Immortal Quiloet, or HIQ, Aim Zims PH, Griffin Pride, and yes, Dad.
GTC Knights, 777, Team Botante, Raging Chaos Dominators, Four Kings Main,
Mhm.
Poison Ivy Achilles, and Blackfire Esports. This
There you
is a
Wow!
given
go.
stack
Many familiar
bracket.
names.
GG, GG.
Guys,
Guys,
by the way, gusto ko lang sabihin
fun
na
fact, fun
nandiyan ang
fact.
yes, fun fact, yung GDZ Knights ay supporters team namin.
Yes, supporters
Ayun.
Yes.
clan namin yan. We
Clan,
are so
yeah.
proud of them kasi nakapasok sila sa playoffs.
Mm.
And hindi kami magiging bias, guys. Pero
Oo, hindi
bias
naman kami
kami.
casters eh. Hindi naman kami casters, so
Oo, hindi kami, doon lang kami magwa-watch party lang kami sa inyo to support you
aha.
guys. But, matitindi din yung nandito.
Andito 4K
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 main.
4K main. Oo.
Tsaka Poison
Wow.
Ivy, Aklis, mga nakakapasok dati talaga yan sa
Yes.
mga finals natin. So, medyo familiar.
Ka-excite.
Pero malay nyo, may parang surprise moment na may makapasok na hindi pa nakakapasok before sa finals. Right,
Di
Gamma
ba?
and Dad?
I agree because right now it could be anyone's game because
Yes.
we are not
Tama.
yet starting our bracket D. But just knowing the name, knowing the team list, knowing the teams, knowing the clans, we might be able to expect some heavy action for this bracket D. And not to
Yes.
mention that your very own clan GDZ is right on the spot as well. So
Yes.
masusubukan sila, no, if
Mhm.
they will be able to handle this type of pressure. And also, just for everyone's information, that this tournament again is open for Philippines, Singapore, and Malaysia. And right now on this bracket D, we will be having here a team of team number 8. I think that's Mystic. So a special shout out to our peninsular players, Mystic Clan. So again, I'm happy. We are glad to have you here and see how well we will be able to perform against international players.
Yes! Medyo matindi
Let's
ang labanan
go.
pag merong kasaling mga taga ibang bansa. So, yan din
Mm.
talaga yung gusto natin. Hopefully, more players,
Yes.
more teams will join from Malaysia and Singapore sa mga
Singapore.
darating na in the future Community Gladiators tournament. So, ginamit ko na din mag-promote, no? Guys, please join next time!
Yes,
More
join next
teams!
time.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sa bracket F
And
pa lang tayo. So, pwede pa tayong umabot ng bracket Z. The bracket Z,
Actually,
double A.
actually, Dad, actually, Dad, for the qualifiers, nakompleto natin, we completed brackets A to Z.
Yes.
Uy,
For
First
The whole
qualifiers.
time.
alphabet.
Yes. So, kaya
Tapos,
medyo mahaba yung
yeah.
bracket natin ngayon.
All
Yan.
right.
But
So
yes,
with that said, ladies, Sharlene and Doc Z, again, me and Dad will take it away because bracket D is about to start.
Alright, so kung sa tingin niyo po mainit na yung bracket C kanina, wait till we have bracket D and even more stacked group
Spicy.
here. So I'm sure any of these squads who definitely want to make a name for themselves, eto na yung time para magpakitang gilas talaga as they are about to compete with some of the best, not just here in the Philippines, but even overseas. So this is
Yes.
gonna be an interesting situation for all of these squads. Again, still the name of the game, one round battle royale tayo at isolated.
Mm-hmm.
Placement is still the key. So it's really a matter of how smart can you play this? Really. I mean, we've seen so many strategies already. so far for the first 3 brackets. Pero I guess for this bracket D, ano 'to, eh, feeling ko ito yung mga aggressive talagang
Yes.
simula't simula pa lang, babanat na.
And knowing that Folkeng's overload already set up the momentum from bracket C, and knowing that Folkeng's main will be playing on the bracket D. Now let's see if they will be pressured by the momentum carried by the overload, or they will do their own thing. And with that said, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Community Gladiators of Fortitude Royale bracket D, and here we go.
And now bracket D is about to start, this time coming in from the west side of our map, going northeast tayo. Sorry, northwest rather. For our map, so medyo passing through Crash Site all the way up to Harbor. Interesting setup here kasi this time, medyo middle ground tayo ng buong isolated map. So they can spread either up north or either down south. So the question is, how are they going to play this one out? And then of course, syempre kung saan medyo magpe-favor zone natin. Pero from the looks of it, medyo everyone's favoring military research football field again. And mukhang diretso pa rin yung iba sa even far as D-Town, I guess. Medyo pupush. Sobrang kalat natin ngayon. Sobrang kalat natin. So ibang usapan na naman to. Gama.
Exactly, and knowing that the wild cards are, the chances of you getting the wild cards is better when you're trying to loot the boxes. May it be the green box, the white box, or the red box. And looks like the players are dropping in the spots where these boxes are much more prominent. With that side, we are watching our team number 8, your team Mystic, just looting up their place there, making sure that they're ready for the engagement, while AXP Bop able to open up the round, able to eliminate third of the team BT with that RPD LMG. That's going to be 2 kills already. Sean will be taken out as well by AXP Bop with that amazing RPD LMG with a lot of bullets on that mag.
And definitely that's a good pickup for that team. Meanwhile, AXP here needs to do. Actually, BTT is an even crazier situation because he's gonna be all alone here throughout this match. I guess Tanzu, the goal here for that player is at least survive this one. Do not engage immediately and at least get that opportunity to get the rest of the dog tags back up and running. For Rage here, still a good situation, although their opponents are outside of this facility, so they have opportunity to just get all of their loots. This is what they need to definitely utilize. If you have no opponents, get as much as you can. Really utilize whatever is available on your map, on your particular place, and get what you're comfortable with when it comes to your chosen weapons. So for now, 21 squads for bracket here. Good situation for most of them. As you can see, na medyo everyone's still outside of the zone. Outside, I guess, will not be engaging as crazy as we expected them to be. So medyo interesting setup here for ERN. Really going through that high ground, pero perhaps just for a vantage point across that entire map to see perhaps
Yes.
if there's anybody else to engage just yet. But for now, T7 Carlo dealing with that K9 already, but we'll definitely see more of that in the future. So this is really a matter of how well do you engage. But this time, Blackfire Esports showing off already. Let's see if they can show off right now. It manages to shut down one member right there. Nasty takes out first frag already for the team, but Red deals with a bit of a damage, but the rest of the crew back up there for the revive. And now I guess they're just trying to look for the rest of their opponents for this map, but will not find anyone just yet. Perhaps a bit of a calm before the storm here for Blackfire Esports.
Exactly. A little bit of a calm before the storm, but AXP full clip will be dropping a clip against Senju on that encounter. That's going to be 3 kills now for your team number 4, AXP is here. But again, we are playing for placing here. But this time, your players, your teams are being aggressive, trying to cut down the numbers of competition for the final zones. And now Rage Rio just cleaning up some K9 unit, making sure that he is up and alive, surviving, and of course, position wisely. 70 players and 20 teams. So this time, oh my goodness me, we already had one team wiped out. Unlike bracket A to C earlier on, I think we have reached the second or the third zone or even the fourth zone before we're seeing some drop in numbers when it comes to the team count. But this time around, looks like, Dad, you are right on trying to foresee that this bracket will be much more aggressive than the other bracket. Well, let's see and find out maybe we're just talking a little bit early because again, right now it's anyone's game, and let's see how well they will be able to perform. So far, T7 down to their two players going up for the loot, and look at this, your team of ULE playing it safe. They have an opposing team as well. I think that's going to be the T7 just trying to play it out here on this side of the football field. And knowing that this is a barrier of protection, then definitely they can stay inside for a duration of time to increase their survivability.
That's a very interesting technique there. They definitely cannot engage with each other. They can just stay there. If the zone permits that would be the good spot, they could basically hold off until the very end. And if forced with the engagement, that's the only time they'll have to pull up. But it is what it is. But we'll see perhaps more of them later on tonight. As you mentioned, no, Gamma, no, we're only down to 20 squads. One squad is already down and out. But still, for an initial PR setup that we have right now, it's actually interesting that they are not yet as aggressive for now. Because as we mentioned, the map flight plan that we've had for this one is very down straight to the middle. So everyone's basically spread off already. So that's a kind of an advantage for all of them because they have the opportunity to just get the respective loots, whatever they want to have, to get the best weapons that they would prefer to use. But so far, these kids here at T7 are just playing ball right now. So perhaps probably we can see more of the actual actions for some of the squads. But I guess for now, this is the fun thing of really playing it here. We're all keeping it safe here. Since no one can engage at this point because of that barrier, no one can use their weapons. They're just literally playing ball here, perhaps, securing whatever loot they have here at the football field. But this fun will end at some point in time. So the question is when.
So a little bit of a drawback, right? A little bit of a laid back. And there you go. Your question is when. Looks like it's now because the zone is closing in. So these teams, these players will be forced to move out of that field and maybe fight with one another or go separate ways to secure a better position for one another. But at this moment, at this very few moment here, we just saw a little bit of a laid back engagement. So a little bit of break to gunfights and just play soccer, right? Or play football. A little bit survive in this force field. But again, zone will be closing in. Even though that zone damage is not that much just yet, it really depends on how far the safe zone is because you need to be wise on how you want to move all throughout the isolated map because as you traverse the lands of isolated, you might be caught up with some surprises, with some ambushes and so on. And looks like this football field is a little bit far on the safe zone, so let's say on the second or third close, they really need to move out of that football field.
For sure. Yeah, as we can see, about 10 squads are outside of the zone right now while the rest are already in. So for those 10 squads inside the zone, I guess they're kind of picking off with how 4K Overload play their setup. Make sure that they have access already to the safe zone. If they already have their respective weapons and their upgrades already set, then they can just basically wait out for their opponents and engage with them in an effective manner. So it's really a matter of really how well you wanna play out this entire game here. It's basically a wait and see setup for most of these ones. Meanwhile, we have here Mystic, our foreign team here, trying to spot out some opponents, but so far nobody in their horizon just yet. So everyone's gonna be this one for Mystic. It's still gonna be a quiet setup for them. They would definitely need to push a little bit further up north, basically, to find their opponents. Meanwhile, for LE here, this LE Zenith. No,
Yeah.
Lunaris Mirai, I think. Lunaris Mirai. Yeah, there's still gonna be a bit quiet here for these ones. Medyo no one still in their horizon. Meanwhile, AIM here also trying to perhaps play by the zone just at the very edge, perhaps wait for these squads to come in and then engage with them at a long distance. That's, I guess, the play for AIM here, trying to pop up some nades at the other side of the mountain. As you can see here, the situation
Ooh.
between Lay and AIM here. So let's see if this one works for them.
Let's see if this is gonna be working out on either of the both sides. But so far, your team aim just waiting patiently, just keeping an eye maybe for some movements from the team of LE. But we can see here our 2-2 PA just waiting for the chance as well. TRG Light, on the other hand, just playing it safe. And again, team number 10, your team, the Red Giants, are just playing on a trio scenario. Well, I'm not sure if they're just off with one scan, but we can see three players left only for the team number 10 or your team of TRG. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, we already had one team wipe out, but for the next of these moments, no teams has been wiped out again. 20 teams still intact, 72 players still standing, down to the second zone, and the zone is shrinking in once again. So the pressure will be building up even more for the final zone, just as much as the last brackets or the last rounds that we did have. For Walpy of LE, a little bit of a stand here, jamming right at that, while the rest of the players of LE is now going inside of the zone. And your team number 3 as well, your Empyrean Reborn, playing on a trio scenario. Smoke Bomber, Medic, and a Shockwave combination for their team. They don't have any arsenal guns just yet, but they do have a good amount of loot for themselves, just able enough to fight back or retaliate against the opposing players that might be pushing in on their way. Now we can hear a little bit of a gunshot coming from the left side. T7 Carlo with a grenade, able to eliminate K9 units, clearing it up. Looks like your team HIQ is now down to their two players. We have Lee and Nerf, and let's see how well they'll be engaging. Or are they gonna be playing it safe and get the dog tags, or will they play aggressively?
I guess for this bracket, no, bracket D is somehow looking similar to bracket A. They're definitely not engaging just yet. They're trying to hold off any engagements as much as they can, or at least push off that final fight when everyone is basically almost forced to do so. Right now for GDC here, also holding off their engagement against AXP. They have the opportunity perhaps to push this one already, but refuses to. It's the good move right here because they don't really have that significant advantage just yet.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, T7 here, perhaps I set on Aoi was basically an inch of their life already, but they also need to deal with their own as well. So I guess there are some other players here on the other side. I mean, Wale here and Aoi trying to survive this one. See, this is when the zone definitely gets a little bit trickier and it pains you a little bit more. So now for these two squads, for Lunaris Mireille, now they're down to their two, unfortunately. So for T7, that's going to be a bit of advantage for them if they can finish this one off. So this is where that risk becomes very evident, but is still in a 4v2 situation. Coming in already, David trying to drive away from the situation. Sonic trying to go for push fire. Sonic trying to go in. Pong manages to shut down one. And Pong still trying to take this one in. James spots David trying to go for the finish. Manages to do so. And an extra loot as well. Aoi is down and out. So Pong so far surviving and dealing with this entire squad and manages to somehow survive that initial engagement. But I guess right now he has to make a run for it. Could not hide off anymore from this one. Meanwhile, Potato Aim Esports. High ground advantage for this one. Dealing with Double Z here at the very edge. Going to go for the push. Mukhang may tatalunan, but guess will not just go in just yet. JM going for the backstab. G manages to do so. That's a good takedown right there. And now for Potato Aim Esports, they're just dealing with anybody they can find right now. They are not afraid to engage at this point. Doesn't matter who you are. They are going in for those kills. Meanwhile, on the other end, Rage also making sure their presence felt as well. This is just an absolute chaos. Now we're starting to see a little bit more of the engagement from these squads.
Exactly. We are now seeing some back-to-back action coming from our teams and players. Currently, we are down to 19 teams for this round. And ooh, your awaited team, 4 Kings of Man, is now showing up under the radar. They have the high ground. They're trying to keep the bridge on crossing onto the next zone. Paes Polo will be taken out by Yato of the 4 Kings with that grenade. Ivy Dre on the other side having some engagement against the players of the Team Tio. And now the team of Paes is making a run for it, trying to run away and survive for the sake of their team. Whilst the team of 4 Kings Man is now pushing forward on their area, and Tom Pips able to get that kill against Paes Lights with that Jack 12 shotgun, the infamous Jack 12 shotgun. Now, for the Team Paes down to their 2 players and now trying to survive. Going to the side of ERN with just 3 players alive for them. We have the AXP just in front and Mystic Rogue able to get that kill against HIQ Lee on their side. Now, Mystic Rogue, look at that. Capitalizing on that class, capitalizing on that cluster clag, and trying to do maybe damage or get some information about the whereabouts if a hit marker appears on his or her screen on that instance. 4K or just waiting up on that high ground. ER and Doc is also just waiting for the opportunity. Zone is closing in. They need to be wise again on how they traverse the lands, and they need to be careful who they are cross with. And Lei will be taken up by XPTO with an AK. Now for the team ERN, just outside of the zone, playing it safe. 2 players left now for their team. So it's either they get the dog tag, play it safe, or maybe go for the aggressive play.
Perhaps it's going to be a turnaround for this one. There has an option for ERN here, but I don't think they want to risk this one up as they're just trying to find here. Actually, one squad just dropping off already, but unfortunately, AVR Show coming in from that chopper breakdown manages to make the best out of that situation, and now Rage here. Full man stack here, but of course they may need to deal with another team from the other side. Meanwhile, Mystic here already have significant advantage already from the high ground. Rage coming in through the smoke, trying to go in for those takedowns as well. So this is where they're now forced to engage with their opponents, especially those who are trying to go into the zone already. That gatekeeping technique is coming into play already for some of these squads. So it's just a matter of really winning your gunfights if you can. Meanwhile, LE here, trying to just perhaps stay out of trouble for sure because you have Blackfire on the other side and another squad from the other end. So this will probably not be a good situation to just go fire out because you don't really have much of a covered advantage, and that's gonna be the case indeed right there. They're now being forced out of the situation. AXP on the other side of that map, they perhaps might go in for that push or perhaps use that later for cover for now to get out of that hot zone. It is just an absolute chaos right now. 15 squads remaining. Who gets to survive this one? Will we see a comeback or will we see someone really show off that we are not expecting for tonight?
Yes, exactly. Approaching the bitter end of this bracket D. Let's see if these teams and players will rise up to the occasion. AXP Ted having a little bit of that slope advantage as Smokes coming into the play. The team of Mystic is playing it safe. All of them just holding up on this very big barn and just trying to survive. But the beauty here is that there's a lot of teams and players around the vicinity. Now, 4Kings Java able to get that kill against LEZL. AXP Buff eliminating friends. The 4Kings on the right side here, to the bridge side, is doing a good job holding that out and doing some damage. AXP is out in the open on where the 4Kings can do some damage, but the team of Mystic is also right in the middle of this action. Smoke Bomber comes into the play. They need to be careful. They need to be mindful, and they need to watch out on those nades coming in their windows. For the side of 4Kings, 6 kills now for them. Zone closing in. Someone using the chopper, and Yato will be able to do a damage, knocking down 10 of the team ULE from that helicopter. Now get with a little bit of a good aim, get able to get that kill against Chris of the team ULE. 8 kills now for the team of 4Kings main, and still capitalizing on this slope advantage that they have as a team.
Definitely a good positioning there for 4Kings. They have that slope advantage. If they're being pushed through forward, they can deal with double Z there, as that's what they're doing right now. Jelai taking the hits right there. Unfortunately, could not handle Tom basically at this point. And now 4Kings going in for the push. They might need to deal with potato aim at the other side, but they're definitely confident that they can bring that gunfight. But we also need to deal with those up in the north side of their area. So they just need to perhaps hold on to this position, perhaps force
some action here coming from their side. AXP, Bob, and Ted, the last 2 players standing for the team AXP. 14 kills for them, surprisingly, and they trying to go in for some aggressive play. It looks like so much of an aggressiveness that Dad here is also being aggressive with what's going on his side. But let me back here, ladies and gentlemen, 9 teams is standing for the final moments of our bracket. The zone closing in. They need to be careful. Top tips, knock it down. Mystique, Io, Pop will be taken out. Paes Supremo taken out. The players of the Mystic is being picked up one by one, while the team of Four Kings is also up and surviving. Jeff eliminating Lich of the IV, while the team of Paes down to their 2 players, Gigi and Light. Light on a low HP. Gigi trying to fight back and have Light back into the action. Supremo is already knocked down and Light going in for the rescue. Gay eliminating Paes Polo. Rage Z being knocked down. Look at that beautiful zone and these beautiful players going head to head with one another. Akaratsi with that one able to get that kill against Gigi. Now for the team of Mystic, Rogue will be the last player standing now for this bracket. We are now down to the last 5 teams and Gay doing a lot of damage, but Akaratsi able to get a kill against Gay of the Four Kings. Akaratsi will be the last player standing for the team of Poison Ivy. This is gonna be the moment of truth, the moment of gameplay. Game Yato eliminating Dre and Divine, and now that's gonna be a wipeout. Blackfire Nash will be taken out, and the Four Kings down to their 2 players, Tom Pips and Jab fighting on, and that's gonna be 3 players left now. Rogue with a grenade, able to get their team. Tom and Jeff, both of them will be taken out by Mystic Rogue. 2 players left, 1v1 scenario. Mystic Rogue on this side, no idea, but Blackfire Red will be taken out because of that blue zone. And can you imagine? Team number 8. Oh my goodness me. Coming from our overseas team, your team Mystic will be the first team. They're gonna be the top one, securing the first place for this bracket D. There you go. Dad, I'm glad I had you back again. What are your thoughts on that one?
Mindset,
Ooh.
mindset. That is what we saw with Mystic. As you can see, it was basically a 4v4v3 situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mystic decided just as lay low. They already need to secure themselves already for the top spot. So
Mm-hmm.
with that aggressive play style, they just tried to get out of the situation. When it came to the top 2, top 3, then they already secured their spot. Get out of that the C, come up on top, and then engage already. And still, for some glorious reason, since Fire and 4K were dealing with each other, Mystic came in with the distance. Look at that. Daima and Rogue only with 4 frags, but still manages to secure themselves at the top spot. That
Yeah.
is smart strategy gameplay, right? So you don't really have to be extremely aggressive with certain situations. You just have to
Mm-hmm.
survive. And when the
Mm-hmm.
time comes, you get your gunfights really, really well. And it really worked for Rogue and the rest of the team. Mystic securing our first place, Blackfire Esports securing second, and of course 4K with the third, and Potato Aim Esports coming in at fourth.
There you have it. Now, of course, I want to hear the thoughts of our ladies, Sharlene and Doc Z. What are their thoughts about what happened for this bracket? The Mystic
Grabe
came up, right?
yun!
There you go. Take it away,
Ang
ladies.
lala! Grabe, grabe yung ano naging nangyari. Gusto mo ikaw naman, Shar, una?
Ako, um, grabe, parang hindi ko ma-process na talagang pinag-isipan mabuti nung last player sa Mystic yung
Yes,
galaw niya.
I agree.
So,
Tamang-tama yung
parang
mindset 'no?
oo, mindset talaga. Kasi biruin mo, naging favor din sa kanya na may chopper do'n, pwede siya lumutang, pwede siya sumisid para,
Oo.
'di ba, hindi siya makita ng kalaban. Kasi alam niya na medyo busy yung teams magbakbakan dun sa circle at magkuhaan kung ano ba yung tamang position. Pero
Mm.
yun nga, like Dad said, when nung dumating na yung time, saka siya nagpakita at tinake advantage niya na low na yung remaining teams.
Yes.
Kaya parang nag-number 1 sila, sila yung number 1 ngayon, no?
Mm-hmm,
Number 1 sila
mm-hmm.
sa bracket nila. Kaya parang, shucks, talagang minsan, pero syempre, congratulations din sa ibang mga nakapasok.
Yes.
Yung 4 Kings main naman talagang ang nangyari ay mukbang. Ang daming, ang
Oo,
daming
gutom ata
kills.
sila.
Oh, ikaw, Doc Z,
sila
ano
ngayon.
masasabi mo?
Parang gutom ngayon ang Four Kings.
Oo.
Mm-hmm.
Like yung last game natin, yung Four Kings Overload, yung Four Kings main, talagang nagpapakitang gila sila sa pag-kill nila, 'di ba? Sa point system. Parang
Oo.
akala nila point system ata ngayon eh. Pero
Oh,
nakakatuwa yung Mystic, nagulat nga ako na sabi nga natin puwedeng ang maging top 1 talaga makapasok sa finals, eh, alam mo yun medyo hindi natin, hindi familiar names,
Yeah.
which yun yung prove nila na, "Hello, nandito kami." At nagulat din
oo,
kami, actually nasa class rin pala talaga yung
oo.
para way manalo 'no? Kasi nung dulo, alam mo yung maliit na lang yung bilog, tas low na yung HP nila, dun siya
Mhm.
nag-spotter.
Ang galing nga,
Kaya
eh.
ang galing, ang ganda nun, ang ganda talaga nun.
Ako ano, hangang-hanga talaga ako sa mga players na ano, parang ang hirap kaya mag-isip habang naglalaro. Tapos tinitignan mo pa yung mga kalaban, 'di ba?
Yes,
So, parang sa'kin hinayaan niya, "Sige maglaban kayo diyan, maglaban kayo." So, ang
oo.
iniisip niya na, "Saan ako pupunta after?"
Tama, tama,
So,
galing.
parang, ang dami din namin natututunan. I'm sure yung viewers din are learning from these teams na naglalaro ngayon sa CG. And again, eto namang CG, Tito Codem, did this tournament para talaga ma-introduce din yung ibang teams para 'di ba, mapakilala sila sa BR
Yes,
community. And ito naman
maka-establish sila ng names.
maka-establish sila ng names for themselves, bigyan natin sila ng chance and ito na yon. Congratulations sa top 4 teams natin.
Yes.
Talagang, tama lang, magbatak lang kayo, para sa inyo talaga 'to. But yes, again,
Awesome.
let's show the viewers our top 4 teams for bracket D.
There you have it for our top four. Once again, placing first is your team, Mystic. Second place, your team of Blackfire. And third place, naman, your Four Kings main. And
Amazing.
fourth place would be your team, Paez. And again, I really agree with Sharlene and Doc Z with how well the team of Mystic execute that spotter, that cluster strike right on the timing, knowing that the Four Kings and Blackfire is going head to head with one another. Zone is closing in. It's really really small now, enough for the cluster strike to cover the entire area, giving it a playground to the players of Mystic, or especially Mystic Rogue.
Yeah, definitely, no. Initially, you would have thought it's gonna be a high ground advantage for any of those teams. They just have
Mm,
to find Rogue basically hiding in that shadows. But no, they were too busy dealing with each other already. And then
mhm,
Rogue decided like this is placement points. So
mm,
you just have to make sure that you secure your top four. Once you hit that one out, unless you're forced to really engage, that's the only time he did and manages to even win that gunfight to the very end. So it's really a matter of just really knowing how well you need to play and the end game of your goal basically. In this case, placement points, secure your top spot. Manage to do both. And so, congratulations. But for Four Kings, yeah, they are they
mukbang,
informed?
mukbang na.
Mukbang eh.
Kaya
Oo.
nga, eh.
Parang 'di sila
Bukas pa
na-inform
yun.
'di pa sila na-inform na top 4 lang. Parang ano sila, eh, parang palong-palo talaga. Mainit, eh, mainit, eh.
Mainit.
Parang may mga gustong patunayan 'tong mga 'to. But again, congratulations to all the teams that made it so far sa, finals natin. We are so excited kasi hindi na tayo halfway.
Oo, we're
Almost
down to
done.
2 brackets na lang, 'di ba?
Yep.
Yes, and for bracket A, B, C, D, E,
Yee!
ah,
Yee!
bracket E,
Grabe,
Gamagari
almost
Dad,
there.
sino po ba yung mga teams na aabangan natin?
For sure. So for our bracket here, we will be having the team of Astrum, DGAF Esports, Team IG, Loyal Valor, Sigma Reborn Ghost, Tiro Anubis, Mystic to Son Boys, APE Zenith, Fatalism Esports, Bida Esports, and DD main team for team number 11. We also have Rise Reborn for team number 12, Team Spec, Team Ethereal Esports, Light Speed Light, and Dad.
Yes, Esports, Mystic Valiant, Quadro Alas main, Potato Squad, IE Exodus, and of course, Unbothered main GTX. Those are the members of our bracket E, our second to the last matchup for this evening. So I guess for this one, definitely Mystic is something that I want
Ang
to watch out
daming
again.
mystic pala,
Oo,
'no?
yeah.
Mm. Uy,
Pero
baka parang nagbabatak 'to, nang hindi natin
Oo,
alam.
yeah,
kaya
yeah.
nga, eh.
Yeah,
Amazing.
an
Mystic with their
interesting
mystic
lineup here
ways.
for tonight for
Yep.
sure. But of course, a big shout out for the only Mindanao team here, DDT Main. So sila lang po yung taga Mindanao natin. And shout out po
Yes.
sa ating mga lahat. And of course, the rest, of course, here from the North and the West as well. So definitely interesting lineup again for Bracket E. No major names that we are very familiar with, but nevertheless, with the performance of Mystic earlier, we are definitely have our eyes set on the Mystic squad as well. But of course, this is also an opportunity for any of these squads to really show off with zero
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
pressure from the big names of the BR industry. So they can definitely play even better, hopefully, and really show off what they can deliver for the finals by tomorrow.
Exactly. And I want to back up what Sharlene and Doc Z mentioned earlier that again, this Community Gladiators is a platform for all of the other teams to shine up, raise up to the occasion, and have their name out into the Battlefield Royale. But here's the catch though. With what Four Kings has been doing and some other major clans, major names that we know, they're trying to make a statement that, hey, I know this is open, but we are the dominator. That's how I want to see it. That's how we're going to vision it because they're trying to secure their spot here and here, maybe from bracket C and bracket D. But now, Sharlene and Doc Z, again, me and Dad will take this away as we are
Yes.
about to start our bracket E. I missed that action, that the take it away thing here. But yeah, that is still loading up. But ladies and gentlemen, our bracket is about to start, and let us see.
Best of luck to all
Even
of these
though,
teams. And
right, even though that we don't have, let's say, the most major team names out on this bracket, I agree with that. This is a little bit less pressure to stand up, stand out, and shine the most as these teams will be battling once again with one another with just one round, one chance. Isn't that right, Dad? There you go. Just a little bit of a hiccup right there, but no worries. Again, Community Gladiator Fortitude Royale. This is gonna be your bracket E, and we are now almost at the end of this round, at the end of this Gladiator. So again, bracket E is on its way, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. Going into the flight. Looks like that's gonna be coming from the south side, from the bottom side, all the way up to the snowy area, which is then reaching wetland, sanitarium, harbor, outpost, ski town. There's a lot of key points. There's a lot of key locations for our teams and players if they want to be playing on the aggressive side or probably going in just trying to dominate with one another. There you go. The teams are now dropping in. And yes, we have a total of 20 teams managed to cut in on this bracket. Just trying to loot up, just making sure that they'll be ready for the next engagements that they might be having. There's like some players here dropping in onto the pipeline, some of them dropping on the overgrown, some of them on the Sakura side, but we don't see any action just yet. Most of our teams, most of our players are dropping it on a separate way, but we are seeing a few dropping in on the same spot, like Harbor, probably Sakura, and even more as we dig deeper. 74 players, 20 teams, and again, this is now bracket E. We are almost done on these playoffs. We have already secured the top fours for bracket D, C, B, and A. Now down to bracket E. The question once again, were we gonna be able to see some passive aggressive, or is it gonna be much more aggressive this time around? However, just basing on the first few minutes of this round, we don't see any action just yet. Kill feed is silent. We don't hear any gunshots. All of them minding their own business, trying to survive, trying to get a hold of those loots, maybe some wild cards even more to have them ready for the battle. But speaking of battle, here we go. Team number 2, your team, DJL, is only playing on a duo scenario. It's gonna be Dyle and Vink playing on a duo versus squad. This is a very disadvantageous number count for them, and they are being pushed by a full squad power. Both of them great with a broken armor. Dialect will be taken out by Bida Uno. Vink will be the last player standing, but Vink will be taken out by Bida Jai. So your team number 10, your Bida Esports, will be the Bida so far from that engagement. That's going to be 2 kills now for them, and that's going to be one last competition. That's going to be the first team to be wiped out. We are now down to 19 teams for this round of this bracket A. Going to the side of the Team Loyal, we have WK, Stan, and Kush just securing the high ground. It looks like they're trying to play it safe. I don't see any other colors. There's no other teams. There's no other players around, but they're trying to play it safe because obviously they do not know that. They are still unsure if there's going to be someone around the area because there's no means for them to know that. Unless they have a scout class, but I think they don't. Oh, look at this. Remy is busy dealing with George. And you might be asking, who's George? George is that guy right there. And George is really responsible, right, for getting the wild cards exchange or those trade cards exchange. Because yes, you can trade your wild cards to that NPC or to George and have that switch up for a better one, even if that is the better one. Going to the side of the team of On Butter One, 19 teams now for their team. 73 players coming in along, and now they're trying to get easier, trying to get some bronze or trying to get some loot up coming from that floating system. And now Coke, oh, that's gonna be a violet wild card right there. But again, no action just yet.
Still a very quiet setup here for bracket E, I guess. For the initial setup, we just lost one squad at the first few minutes of our match. But nevertheless, I guess the technique for some of these squads right now is definitely just about survival. I think they already saw how other squads did it in the first few brackets. So they're just trying to just survive at this point, make sure that they have all the necessary loots during that entire gunfight and just hold themselves off until the very end. So I guess this is what we're going to expect for the next two brackets over the next few minutes. But of course, with the zone, again, favoring a different setup here. So their strategy must definitely change as they go along and depending on how things progress throughout the evening, as we of course have here SGM. Still very quiet for this one, not much of an engagement from their end as well. They have the entire new Vision City to themselves, so that's gonna be a significant advantage for them. Although Loyal is actually just above this helicopter area, so the goal, if Loyal is that bold enough to engage, but I guess not yet because from how their current lineup is, I do not wish to engage with any opponents this early at this game because of how what the equipment that they have. It's not even their classes are not yet even upgraded. They're barely using any good weapons, so perhaps hold off until the very end that they would need to deal with that other squad, or perhaps just if they leave, that's the only time they're gonna go. I don't know. But for the rest, as you can see from the map, most of them still outside the zone. It's still gonna be early in the game, so we'll see more perhaps of the action later on tonight.
And I agree because probably once the team Loyal ensure that this player from SGM or Sigma Reborn is just solo down there, probably the team Loyal will go for an aggressive play. But yes, they can hear a footstep, but still unsure if this is just a solo player for the team of Sigma Reborn. They don't know that because again, this is not your regular rank game. This is a tournament. This is the competitive scene. Oh my goodness, V0 right off into the net. Surprise! Surprise, surprise! Coming from Loyal Stan. We are just talking about using Mariborn Zero. We are just talking about the chance of survivability. Looks like the cat got my tongue. And with that said, oh my goodness, the team Loyal will be feeding. It's gonna be a feast for them. Surprising that player. And oh my, I can only imagine that. I can only imagine how much of a surprise that is for that player. Because he is just looting up, right? Looting up the place. No footstep, no visual indicators from the opposing player around. And once he got to that upper void, trying to get a chopper, surprise, Team Loyal is here for ya.
That was so anticlimactic.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, what are the odds? I honestly, what were the odds? We would just try to check out the loot. When he came out there, Loyal was there, just surprised as well of what happened. obviously they had to defend themselves, and that 4v1 situation definitely favoring Loyal at that point. So, but nevertheless, that is still 19 out of the 20 squads. So that means the rest of the SGM is still good, so they can still definitely revive perhaps their teammate there. So for now, I think for the rest of the squads, it's still gonna be a zone play for most of them at this point. So they've already seen how well this technique works. Perhaps since they know that again, it's about placement. They have, I guess, definitely those airborne classes are gonna put them in a better situation, at least to traverse the entire field, regardless of whether or not they're outside of the zone or if they have any vehicles in play at this point. So far, so good. Still very quiet setup for any of these squads. I guess for the zone is gonna be favoring a little bit on the south side of the map a little bit, but Unbothered Esports making their presence felt against DDT and manages to shut down one member right there. Meanwhile, Kuya trying to get out of the situation. Perhaps same thing with Tuhog trying to just drive away here, perhaps not engaging for now on any of the opponents, at least to make sure that they have that opportunity to really survive this one and of course secure their position later on in the game.
Exactly. Security is really your best way to go on surviving these kinds of tournaments, especially for placement, especially for placing only. And I still can't, kind of move on that surprise attack came from Team Loyal. That is really funny. Just talking about the fact that we are talking about the survivability, but then again, caught off guard, surprised by a 4-man player. But moving forward, AXP versus LSL is maybe something we need to look out for, knowing the zone is already closing in and they need to be worried, they need to be careful because 30 seconds left before the zone close in and looks like Seven already caught the glimpse of that and now moving on using that zip line to a better spot. While the team AXP, luckily for them, they have an airborne class that they can trust and use on moving on to the next island. 19 teams are still around and kicking. Oh, there you go. Team Cuadro Alas versus Tero is having a gunfight on their own with that SMRS kicking up, but also looking at the side of your team number 16, your Yaz Esports. Still on a full squad power. Looks like every one of them is wearing the same operator. I think that's the Grinch one. I'm not sure, but there's two of them wearing that operator, wearing that character. Going to the side of the team, Tero, misdirection coming to the player, and Kazuha is already knocked down, being challenged by an opposing team. But now Yappa is on the run, trying to survive shots coming in. Sharky will able to finish out Kazuha with that SMRS, and now the team KA pushing forward. A little bit of a dance right there, and Sharky really being a shark, able to get that another kill for himself. Teka will be taken out. Cuadro Alas and Tero Rio will be knocked down because of that zone. So with that said, Cuadro Alas still on a full squad power, while the Team Tero is now down to their last remaining player.
Definitely for Tero, they still have an opportunity to at least get the rest of the team, but I guess that's gonna be a difficult situation for them, knowing that Patrolas is just that in that area. But nevertheless, here AXP here, perhaps spotting someone as well. I guess just trying to secure their situation for now. So gonna be a quiet setup for them. Not much of an engagement for anyone far within their range, but definitely hearing a bit of gunfights here and there. But that's something that they should not really worry about for now. Nevertheless, here DDT, Kuya X again, still alive here. Manages to, it's kind of dog tags already, but spotted. Perhaps needing to deal with Unbothered here from the other side. Ooh, that's going to be a big situation right now for him. But of course, still going to be a quiet situation as most of them are still far off already. So no issue for him. Still going to be a peaceful night as we check in the map right now. This one is rather interesting because we only have like 4 squads outside of the zone. The rest are basically coming in already. Definitely for squad letter K and L, definitely securing themselves already within the pipeline area, at least within the zone. That's the goal here already. And Unbothered, shutting down Kuya X, the solo player earlier, managing to find him already and taking out his gear and all those wild cards as well. So good job there for Unbothered. Meanwhile, coming here for PS, still 4-man stack, 2 upgrades for their end. Quiet zone, but this interesting here. I'm sure most of the squads will be coming in soon already, so I guess they're positioning themselves for that engagement later on tonight.
Engagements. 17 teams and approaching at least the final demise of this zone. Down to our third zone with 1 minute on the clock before we push on to the final moments of our bracket E. However, Team Immortal Esports, Remy, Glue, Rinka, and Hasbula still on a full squad power. They don't have any kills just yet, but they have a favorable high ground that they can use for themselves. Whilst the team of PS is also being holed up here on their very own house, and that's gonna be the same scenario for the team of Mystic. But there you go, SGM0 will be taken out by Glue of the team RE. That's a good aim, that's a good burst, and now securing that kill just like so. Still, your team of IE have that high ground advantage, and now the team of Mystic is going in for the move on and trying to reposition, knowing that they heard gunshots, a chopper broke down, a player got out. So they need to be cautious and they need to be careful how they traverse again these lands. 63 players and 17 teams for this bracket here, and still a lot of action might unfold as we proceed on this bracket.
Definitely a smart gameplay there for Mystic. Normally for some, perhaps if we're coming in for kill points, you would have to engage that opponent earlier from the high ground already. But of course, knowing that the firepower that they may be carrying, and at the same time, this is a placement setup, so might as well just secure yourselves first. Do not engage when it's not necessary. So for Mystic, that was still a good setup for them. It's not necessary to engage from any one of those opponents that they just heard earlier. Meanwhile, for the rest of the squads, push through coming in already to the zone. It is gonna get a little bit crazier, and that zone will hurt a little bit more now as we're approaching the last few minutes of our game here. High ground advantage is gonna be a key here at the pipeline. It looks like gonna be an engagement here from Kairi, shutting down Hiroshi here. Will not survive, unfortunately. Good landing right there, but there's still one more from the side of SGM there. Kairi perhaps just looking for that one more player here, but they will not risk it just yet. High ground is there, but they're wide open from the mountaintop, perhaps. 9 from the push. Still not visible from the side of APE here.
Woohoo.
Alice is on the other end. So this is going to be an interesting situation. 4v1 situation. Zone coming in. What do you do at this point?
Oh my goodness me, what you do will be the denominator of what will happen next. So, here's the point here. Bracket E is much more of a passive aggressive side. They see someone, they shoot. If they don't see someone, they hold. And it's not just of a moment of chase. Yes, they will see someone, they will shoot, but they're not going to be really going after it. They're not really going to go for the chase and just trying to, let's say, secure the position and then the land that they have. Now, Mystic, Rafa, being rough there, able to get some kill. Mystic and TRS have some engagement, while the team of Bida and Ango is also unfolding with one another. 7 going in for some shots, doing some damage to Rena, but not enough to take any kill. And for the team LSL, they're playing on a trio versus squad scenario, while Remy of the team IE will also be challenging the players of the team Mystic on their side. And look at that, with some airborne Mystic up in the sky, probably going in for some safe play, but Atan will be taking out Remy with some 3 kills right there. That is one good of an engagement coming from the team IE. Glue and Remy just racking up the kills for the sake of their team and trying to do some damage and lessen up the competition as we proceed for this bracket E. Now 7 still on that side. IE is still on a full squad power. Remy, Glue, Rinka, Hasbula now on the move to probably secure a different high ground, but that high ground is being conquered by the team LSL. So they will be contesting, they will be competing for that high ground. While the team APE do have a favorable high ground on their own, even though this just have a little to no landmass. They need to be careful because a grenade, SMRS, or anything along from the side can do a lot of damage to their team. While Remy of the team IE is now doing significant damage against the team LSL, and now they are being forced to push down of that mountain, while the team IE reclaim that high ground for themselves.
High ground advantage is gonna be interesting here. For AP, yeah, you're correct. They may have high ground advantage, but that's an open high ground. You could just need them out to existence and they're gonna be over soon. They won't be able to do anything, and when they drop, that's gonna be a kill for you. So for those who are on the low ground setup here, the goal here probably is find your respective houses or perhaps your respective buildings or your mountain sides that you can hide from or at least secure yourselves in. But that loot crate here is very, very tempting, and I'm sure it's gonna be an open field for anybody who tries to go into that area. But right now, 12 squads remain. Everybody here within this area already. So you can see everyone's almost playing zone here. Those needs coming in already. And then Unbothered trying to fire away from up top. Could not connect just yet. That's going to be a high situation. But of course, KA here also dealing with somebody else. Mystic dealing with another one. Unbothered joining in the fun right now. And they're just shooting up left, right, and center. Unbothered surviving in that engagement against Mystic. And now we're down to our final 11. Unbothered a little bit spread out. AP will not be giving out their advantage. But of course, for the rest of the crew that are downstairs, they may need to fight off already, at least for survival.
Final zone, dad and ladies and gentlemen, with still 10 teams alive, it's gonna be nasty, y'all. KA Breaker doing a lot of damage. Yes, a chance getting that kill against Rice Lay. It's gonna be a total chaos. It's gonna be a back-to-back action. We are seeing a lot of players being knocked down against one another. It's a back-to-back gameplay coming from all of these teams. And again, this is the beauty of Battle Royale. A lot of action may unfold on different location of the map, and it's really up to them how well they'll be able to survive until the bitter end. And now Josh getting a kill against Viz and Totalic. Your team Rise is challenging the team AXP, while the team of Quadro Alas, Breaker will be the last player standing now and trying to play it safe right there, but Breaker will be taken out because of that blue zone. Kyrie able to take out Kai of the team on, but with an SMRS, Stan will be taken out. It's a total chaos. It's a total annihilation now coming from our team's Empire, IE, still in a full squad power. And so far, basing on what I can see, what we can see, your team Immortal Esports, team number 20, is wrapping up the play. They're dominating the lobby. Every action that comes in, they take it as it is. 5 teams left now. Rice Alia getting that kill against Loyal W. Remy, another one, eliminating SGM Ali for that side. Vida also being onto the side on action. Remy now going into the side, and the team of ABE still have that high ground control for themselves.
IE definitely showing off tonight, really making sure to win all of those engagements. Meanwhile, Unbothered doing in the same as well. They will definitely be forced to engage with each other. Kyrie and the rest of the crew will need to give up that advantage later on because that zone is closing in already. But somehow, some way, APE still have their luck against their side. They will not get out, but of course, they are forced out to jump in. IE and Unbothered. It's gonna be a pinch in the 3v3 situation. They are getting pummeled right now, but the landing is still good. Sticking the landing, high ground advantage still for APE. It's gonna be Unbothered and IE dealing with each other down low. Glue and Ashabula shutting down Unbothered. Green and Emerald. Of course, APE coming in for the pinch, coming in for the backstab. Can they finish this one off? And they managed to do so. What on earth is that? A matchup?
And
And
we have a winner. Team number 20, Immortal Esports Exodus, will bang that one out straight from the bucket. That is one good gameplay right there. IE proves their dominance, let's say, around the mid section of the match, mid section of the game. That's where they started, popping out, doing some damage, doing some kills, and from there, it continued on. What an amazing play, Dad.
definitely an amazing play. I mean, to the very end, somehow, IE Exodus survives that initial surprise attack and just wins their gunfight
Mm-hmm.
perfectly, securing the first place. And of course, for APE, really smart play there. Luck was definitely on their side. All they had to do was hold on to their tower till the very end, engage with Unbothered and IE if and when it was only necessary. And then of course, Unbothered really being an aggressive team as well. Look at that numbers for their frags. Same thing with the XP as our fourth place. So what a interesting bracket E here. Very
Mm-hmm.
end major engagements, but of course, at least for these 4 teams, that's a secured spot for the finals.
Secured spot it is. IE really made sure of that, really made sure of securing that spot by being aggressive and again trying to menace down the players or the teams that they are be competing with. But of course, again, that, ladies and gentlemen, we want to hear the thoughts of our ladies, Sharlene and Doc Z. So, okay, this time I'll go with Doc Z. What are your thoughts
Grabe.
from that spot?
Whew! Ang galing nun na naman. Grabe yung APE kasi sila talaga yung tinitignan ko kanina during the game. Ang ganda kasi ng pwesto nila but, dad said na open ano yan, open high ground.
Open high
Open.
ground.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Pero, up until the end walang nakaabot sa kanila. Even may nag-e-airborne, walang nakaabot sa kanila dun. And though yung IE, which is the top one, ever since start of the game, talagang ano sila, aggressive.
Palo.
At prove nila na wala sa positioning 'yan. Nandito 'yan sa tutok. So, alam mo 'yun, ang galing ng kumbaga iba't ibang lakas ng teams. Bawat isa
Mhm.
merong ang strength nila magandang position, yung strength nung iba tutok, yung strength ng iba diskarte. So, ang galing. Ang dami namin natututunan dito, ha.
Oo, in fairness. Kaso yung
Yes.
feeling ko ngayon para akong nag-e-exam ta's parang kailangan ko i-analyze talaga yung, laro. Tapos
Oo.
naisip ko, hindi naman kami shoutcaster, joke lang.
Kaya nga.
Hindi, joke lang. I'm just kidding guys, but ang masasabi ko lang dun sa last game natin sa bracket A, B, C, D, E, dun
E.
sa bracket E, ang nasa tamang timing talaga minsan rin yung pagbaba kung nasa magandang puwesto ka, eh.
Mhm.
Kasi
Mhm. Mhm.
swertihan din talaga sa zone. Parang if may ano ka, magandang luck ka sa zone, ay hindi mo na kailangan bumaba. Kaso
Mhm.
when it comes sa nangyari sa ano, sa anong team 'to?
APE.
AXE?
Maybe.
APE, pagbaba nila sabi ko, "Shocks baka kapusin."
Yep.
Baka
Though
kapusin,
okey.
baka handa na lahat pagbaba nila, kaya sila nalagasan ng 2 players. And ito namang
Yes.
IE, saktong-sakto yung players na natira sa kanila, kasi sila yung natira sa last zone. Sabi ko, "Shucks, tamang-tama yung pagbaba ng medic sa last zone."
Tama, tama.
Tamang-tama. And again now, let's check out yung top 4 teams natin for bracket E.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, for your bracket here. Of course, coming up top is your Immortal Sports, followed by your top two, APEZ, top three naman, which is your unbuttered main GTX, and top four, your AXPA. Both or all of these teams are now proceeding to the grand finals of this Community Gladiators that's gonna be happening tomorrow night again 7 p.m. PH time.
There you go. That means 5 brackets down, one more to go. We are all set for bracket F.
Who's there?
Yes. One more squad, and of course, that's gonna be our final game for this evening in just a bit. But before we proceed, to, of course, to our final bracket, again, a bit of a briefer lang for the last 5 brackets that we've seen. Actually, we've managed to really see how different strategies work for any of these squads, especially
Agree.
for those. Yes, sabi nga, it's either discarte, a bit of luck, really your tutok, your gun skills, and of course the way you utilize your classes. It's all those mix. It's very critical to winning your battle royale gunfights in any situation. So all of these things you have to really consider, especially coming into the finals tomorrow, where of course we're gonna have more matches for these squads, plus a bit of a difference in how we select our winners for sure.
Agreed, agreed. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, of course, let's talk about who are the teams that are going to be playing for the final bracket. This is the last round, the huling hira, the huling bira of our teams and players. We have 247 Bisdak, one on time cards, T7 Deadly Sins, Revenger Squad V1 Dream, TMW Assassin Main, sorry, DES Nightmare, Window Office, NRG Saya, ABG Bangiz, Mysterious
Nakamute pala
Visayas,
ako.
Four Emperors, Team Bulabog, Euro Atrium, Euro Excelsior, Rasdad.
LE Rain, APE, Blacklist King, uh, Inagunid Team 3, Raging Demons, Leap and Bound, and 4K Joker.
Oh, there you go. Doc Z, Sharlene, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing some prominent names, some prominent clans, prominent teams on this last round. And this is really the way to end the first playoff.
Yes, we are so excited for bracket A, B, C, D, E,
EF
F. Yes.
our sixth bracket and last
Our
bracket.
final bracket for tonight. And again, advance congratulations kung sino man ang makakapasok dito sa finals. But again, we are so excited for tomorrow. Guys, if you have time, kung tapos na ang family time, family dinner ninyo, please do drop by sa aming mga live streams tomorrow. 7 p.m. po ang finals ng Community Gladiators. Yes.
Naka-live po kami sa aming TikTok accounts, naka-live rin ang mga players, and we are live sa Garena page, sa Blue App, and sa YouTube.
Yes, hello to everyone who's watching from YouTube as well.
Yes.
Sa lahat ng nanonood from the Philippines, to everyone who's watching on Singapore and Malaysia also. Good evening, guys! Hi!
Yay!
Thank you for joining our Community Gladiators live stream. For now, Gamagori and Dad,
Mhm.
take it away.
There you go. Yeah, I missed that. I missed that. Thank you, ladies. Now, getting back into the action. Now, Dad,
Mm.
knowing that the Four Kings dominated like the lobbies that they had, Four Kings Joker is now at play. So let's see if Four Kings Joker will be able to live up to the name, live up to the expectation. And also another pressuring point here is the players of the Leap and Bound. Knowing that the Leap main fell off a little bit short when it comes to their bracket, it's really up to the Leap and Bound to carry the banner of the Leap Esports.
For sure, no? I guess for Leap and Bound, yeah, definitely pressures on. Same thing with 4K Joker as well. I
Mhm.
mean, 4K main manages to secure themselves. The 4K Overlord managed to secure their top spot. And of course, for 4K Joker, hopefully they get to do that as well. But of course, they would need to deal with 21 squads who are also as hungry as they are to secure the
Mhm.
slot for the finals. For Leap and Bound, yeah, I guess a little bit more pressure for them since they have to represent for their team. Same thing for the rest of the squads, but I'm actually
Yes.
interested perhaps for Blacklist Kings, or I believe this will be the first time that I'll be encountering them. But for the
Yes.
rest, new names here and there, but of course, hopefully we get to see another significant squad that will pop off and perhaps surprise us as well with their interesting strategies, much like what we've seen with Bracket E earlier tonight. So that is something that we are excited to see with our
Mhm.
final bracket for tonight as we begin, of course, bracket E, sorry, bracket F rather, for our Community Gladiators Fortitude Battle Royale Tournament. So as you say, brother, and here we
We
go.
go. There you have it again. Community Gladiators Fortitude Royale down to the final game, final bracket, and final round of this evening. And ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. We are now witnessing the final touch of this Community Gladiators for the playoffs. And now teams and players are dropping in now. So we can see a few of them going in first. Mino area, like Outpost, Frigid Wetland, and so on. Some of them dropping on T3 Refinery, Research, Standoff probably, Block Market, Downtown, and the list goes. So yes, we are just highlighting the possibility coming from the main teams. However, we do not want to underestimate the other teams who managed to join in, because again, this team, all of them have already qualified for the playoffs. So yes, they do have what it takes to perform or maybe outperform the other teams. And the team of Euro will give us the first bloods of the evening. Lou and Dre able to pick up 2 kills from their side. On the side of the team Onbu, just looting up the place on their front. And the team of Euro here, team number 13, with the 2 kills for themselves.
Good setup right there for Euro. And now, of course, I guess one thing that we have to point out is that uh, high ground for the zone here is favoring the north side, while most of the squads are way down south. So it's gonna be a long travel for most of these squads, really to put themselves in a better position, perhaps. But of course, that's gonna also give them the opportunity to loot more areas, find more equipment that they may need, and hopefully, secure themselves that necessary equipment and that wild card if they're looking for one, so that they, when the time comes that they need to go for that engagement, is this that they're all ready for that fight. But for now, it's gonna be a little bit quiet for the initial lineup here. 20 squads to remain. RD here, perhaps just trying to make their presence a little bit safer, as Four Kings just around the corner. And of course, Negi and the rest of the crew here, high ground advantage right in that building. But of course, for Brani here, definitely setting up some communication for the rest of the team, just to make sure that they have that. Patakasa and Negi firing from down low already. The pinch might come in from Brani from that building in just a matter of time. But of course, Marisu also on the other end, Akasa with a sniper at hand, just trying to find a spot. Negi as well, doing as well. Through and through with the wall, could not connect just yet. Not just yet, but the open round for Rads is gonna get knocked out already. And of course, that one is good finish already. Park right there at top will not engage just yet. Perhaps put themselves in a different building would be a better position for him. But of course, for the rest of RD here, just trying to survive here and not be in the way of Four Kings. But is that gonna be the good strategy here? Let's see here. Of course, someone firing in at Prani here from outside, pero mukhang okay pa din. So far, so good. Aaron making, and the rest of the crew surviving and thriving as Four Kings try to go for the pinch and take them their tires quiet out.
There you go. It's a little bit of a back-to-back action here. They're trying to test each other out. They don't want to go for a full aggressive play. Instead, they go for pickups. They try to pick one down, and from there, it really depends on what's going to be the action of the opposing team. On that aggressiveness of the Team Four Kings Joker is showing to them. Smokes coming in, and Renzo still have that high ground, listening to the footsteps probably and communicating that, of course, across to his teammates. While Brani will be securing a different spot. Good aim, good damage, but the opposing player did a lot of damage in return to Brani, forcing Brani to go down and heal up with some armor plates, while the team of RD is still holding up on their team. Now we will get back to that action. Meanwhile, Team MH, team number 12, and then just looting up, making sure they're ready, going to the side again of the team RD, because this is where the action is unfolding, isn't it? Smokes into the play. The team of RD, team number 19, your raging demon, will not be raging that much. They're holding up their area. They're holding up this house, making sure it's not going to be penetrated by the team of Four Kings, while the team Four Kings have it surrounded already. Someone covering the high ground, someone directly on top of them, someone from the left and right side, making sure that they lock down this vicinity, this entire building for themselves. But looks like there's a different team that might be joining in. I can see the players of the team WO, isn't that right? Maybe trying to go in engagement on this side. Just maybe, really. Now, on the side of Team W and 247, they're having some engagement as well from their side, going head to head with one another, while the team here of RD just trying to play it safe. Going to the side of the team unbothered, still on a full squad power, but Rauld is probably playing for a pickup and just trying to play it safe while waiting for the others to communicate. And there you go, Rauld back to the play, back to the action. We are now still 68 players and still 20 teams. There's no team that have been wiped out just yet. All of them are still alive and standing, waiting for their chance. And again, the zone is closing in.
This is gonna be a little bit more difficult and challenging as we start. The entire zone is actually shrinking already. So, if worst comes to worst, we're gonna be seeing at least 10 to 15 squads ready for the final zone, which is gonna be an absolute chaos. So at this point, for most of these squads, either you try to start eliminating others opponents already at early in the game, or at least be smart about your engagement. And now Akasa trying to push this one through, coming in from the backstab. It connects right there. The second kill is good. The third one in the finish. Four Kings basically shutting down RD there already. And that long wait paid off. Meanwhile, Euro trying to shut down their opponents as well. And that's LE from the other side. Mocha trying to go in, firing at the other end of Den. Trying to connect. Could not finish up just yet. But nevertheless, Boyax needs a bit of assistance right now as a shot will be coming back into the game here. But of course, that's Smoker trying to survive for this one. Still no squad wipe so far. A bit of engagement here and there, but still everyone still alive and kicking as that zone shrinks even smaller by the minute.
There you go, by the minute, and every minute is really important because what happened there is that once zone closes in, players are traversing the lands and they get an eye to one another, and immediately a gunfight broke through. So every minute matters really, and it really depends now how fast they can react on what's happening around them. Yes, given the fact that these teams are, already accustomed to the feelings of tournaments, a scrimmage, or battle royale scene itself, it's still really different if you add the fact that this is a major tournament. Going into the side, still now the 19 teams, and the Team RS is now trying to make their way inside of the zone. While the Team Euro have that high ground advantage, Nora will take a kill against a run of the Team WO by destroying the vehicle they've been carrying on. And now, the Team Euro, that's giving the chance for them to play a little bit of aggressive, and Aaron will be confirmed by Nora on that spot, while the rest of the Team Euro now is trying to make a little bit of a push, while the rest of the players of WO waiting for their chance. But now push Shockwave into that play, a little bit of a dancing around. Yena will be taken out. Dre will be taken out with that shotgun from Yena with that one tap, but with that PDW, Nora will be able to answer back, able to get those kills, and really exciting plays. And Euro will wipe out the team of WO. That is one good of engagement coming from your team number 13, your Euro Ethereum.
Euro Ethereum definitely working to their advantage at that surprise engagement that I believe W was not really ready for that initial setup. They were definitely winning their gunfights and finishing off at least one squad already. That's gonna put them in a better situation for sure. And that's a bit of a preview when we switch, of course, to the finals if they manage to secure their slot as well. 18 squads still remain this time. RS Benz trying to just perhaps find better loot. Meanwhile, trying to avoid those two squads on the other side of this area. Here at standoff, basically. So, you don't want to engage just yet, perhaps, especially at this close to the game where still we have 59 players remaining and 18 squads still
Yeah.
alive here.
There's still a good amount of number, still a lot of players standing, and the Four Kings now securing a solid 6 kills for themselves, and now trying to move forward inside the zone while also getting their hands on that upgrade chip for their classes. Now again, 59 players, and hold on, what's going on? Unbonded Oroki with a frag grenade just annihilated Branny from that scenario. That is a one good timing of a grenade, while Basic will be taken out because of the blue zone, and this is not really looking good for the Team Armbo. And what is the price to pay? That is the price to pay. So yes, they managed to get a kill, they managed to get a kill, but this is not a pointing system where kill counts matter. They need to be wise and survive until the bitter end, but sadly Team Armbo won't be able to make it inside of the zone. And now Team Euro joining the action. They have a rally car, 4-man player inside, and they might be engaging against the teams around the area. That's going to be Team LE. Negi also getting some kills. Shot will be taken out. Boyax able to get that kill against Osaka of the Team LE. Going in for the follow-up, Mocha able to eliminate Mikkel of that medic class of the opposing player. While Renzo is also answering back against Euro Lu on their side. But for now, team number 14, the team of Euro Excelor, with a solid 7 kills now for their team. That's going to be Euro Excelsior.
Good setup right there for Euro. A really good setup and surprise attack coming in, and they're also dealing with another Euro team here. They're just really trying to go for the push as well. As you can see, some of the squads are still outside of the zone, way far out for some of them, but of course, I hopefully know what they're doing and how much of a risk they're working on right now as they're staying outside of the zone. That's going to be putting them in a a bigger damage setup basically, which hopefully they can still recuperate with their respective medical class. But for now, we are down to our 16 squads at this evening. TNC Tanggol here and the rest of the crew still alive and kicking, still very quiet, but of course I guess just staying out of trouble for now. Speaking of trouble, Euro and the rest of the team dealing with MH here, fighting away with the vehicle gameplay here. Chase and gunfights is the play of the game for these two. They're just trying to make sure that both to get into the zone and fight as well. Meanwhile, Misty trying to shut down this time. TNC manages to shut down one member there, and Sage just at the other end. Perhaps Misty will not be engaging because of the crew have eyes set on AP way down at the other side of that map right now. But of course, TNC, I'm back here, medyo trying to just stay out of trouble for now as they realize
Mm-hmm.
the two squads is what they need to deal with for APE. It's just basically one down to one player, so this is not going to be a good situation for him for sure.
That's for sure. And surprisingly, for our last bracket, even though we are down to the third zone, we are now down to 15 teams. Unlike the previous brackets, right? On the third zone, we're still around 20, right? Around 20 or 18. But this time, it's a little, just a little, just a little pinch of aggressiveness coming from the players here. And they're trying to roam around. Especially, I'm gonna give it a huge shit. Especially on Kings and Euro, cleaning up some aisles and cleaning up some teams, lessing up the competition as the final zone approaches. Now we are down to 47 players and 15 teams. M as a TY or Mystic here, just trying to hold up, making sure that they have that high ground control. Rose is just trying to play it safe a little bit, like so. There's gonna be someone here. Oh, that's gonna be TNC just in front.
through perhaps dealing with 4K here. But again, that open here, not
Team number 5, TMW Assassin Main.
definitely for 4K. Second place, and of course, TMW leading the charge with first place. Congratulations to them. Of course, for Leap managing to still survive
Now,
that onslaught finally with Imzone, Void, and MJ. Despite having no frags, placement point is still going to be good for them. At least Leap will be represented for the finals tomorrow.
and I agree with that. And honestly, this really caught my attention. On that final zone, I did not I did not see, I did not notice any lip tags right there. So where are them? Anyhow, they managed to survive until the bitter end and just closely right there, placing fourth, hence securing their spot for the grand finals. Again, it's the same with TMW, LE, Four Kings, and Leap. And Bound manages to push forward. Now, again, let us hear the thoughts of our ladies, Sharlene and Doc Z.
Hello!
Wow, wow, wow! What an intense
Grabe.
game! What
Oo,
a
ang
game to
lala.
wrap up yung playoffs natin. Napakaganda
Yes.
kasi parang lahat from brackets A to F, walang naulit na last zone, no?
Oo, to be
Iba-iba.
honest, oo, tama.
So parang sa akin, ang interesting makita kung paano sila maglalaro. Given na yung iba, puro tubig, yung iba, may high
Mhm.
grounds, may taguan, yung iba, super open. And dito, ang saya mapanood na parang, ano talaga eh, parang sa position talaga eh. Yun talaga yung, nagmamatter talaga yung positioning and kung paano nyo parang, parang isa-sandwich ba yung team sa gitna? Kasi parang nakikita ko na medyo ganun yung nangyari dito. Kung sino yung napapagitnaan, siya yung lugi. Yun
Mhm.
talaga yung nangyari. So, congratulations sa top 4 teams natin and yung Leap kahit kulang sila. 'Di ba?
'Di ba
Parang
parang
pasok pa
pasok
rin.
pa rin.
Ikaw, Doc
Ikaw,
Z,
Doc
ano
Z?
masasabi mo?
Ayun, nagulat ako sa lip kasi sabi ko, "Shucks, wala nang nakapasok na lip." Ta's 'pag nagulat ako, andun pa si Lip Void, which is hindi nakita ng casters, hindi natin lahat nakita
Yeah.
na meron pang nag-survive na isa. And, nakakatuwa kasi nga yung sinabi ni Sharlene na, iba't iba yung last zone. Ang sabi ko, ang kalaban ng lahat ng teams sa last bracket is yung ano, yung puwesto. Sa frigid wetland kasi puro puro tubig. So,
Mhm.
medyo disadvantage yun sa mga ano, sa
Team
mga
fights.
players kasi
Oo.
minsan bumabagal yung lakad talaga once na nasa tubig ka. Though,
Mm.
maraming cover.
Mm.
Pero ang kalaban talaga nila yung place,
Medyo,
last zone.
oo,
Medyo ang
medyo
hirap
alam
nun.
namin yang frigid na yun kasi bahay namin yan,
Oo,
babaan
diyan
namin
kami
yan.
bumababa, eh.
So,
Pero
alam namin
dun
na mahirap.
tayo kapag umpisa.
Oo,
Pero
hindi sa
kapag
dulo.
dulo,
Hindi, hindi.
ano na, 'di ba ang hirap?
Mahirap, mahirap dun eh.
Oo.
Advantage dun yung may snowboard, pero nakita
Mm,
naman natin na talagang lahat ng pwedeng gamitin, ginagamit ng mga players, smoke, grenade, lahat-lahat
ayun.
na.
Tas
Feel,
naka-SMRS pa, 'di ba si
oo,
Negi, naka-SMRS siya, ang dami niya na napapatay rin gamit yung SMRS at mukbang na naman ng 4K.
oo, mukbang
Marami
na
silang
naman.
ano ata, pinag-aano ha,
In fairness, we
parang
have three
pino-prove.
teams from 4K sa
Yes.
finals
Mhm.
na dapat natin abangan bukas. But yes, again, ito yung top 4 teams natin for this bracket before we reveal yung ating mga pasok sa finals.
Grabe.
There you have it for our top four of our bracket F. We have your TMW, followed by LE. Next up is your Four Kings Joker. And lastly, but not the least, is your Leap and Bound. So these four teams will be proceeding to the grand finals. Now, ladies and gents, you might be asking, who are all of these teams, lalo na sa mga bagong pasok lang ng ating live, who are these teams that will be proceeding to the grand finals? And let's have it a go. And Dad, take it over.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are our finalists.
Sheesh.
Community Gladiators, Fortitude Royale, Hashira Homera, Delta Havoc, Team Alpha, Levendis Valor, Pave Invicta, DU Main, Revenant Esports, Team OK Fine Nevermind, 4K Overload, APE Candy, Wolfpack, Vitality, Mystic, Blackfire Esports, 4K Main, Potato Aim Esports Conquerors, IE Exodus, APE Zenith, Unbothered Main GTX, Astro, TMW Assassin Main, LE Rain, 4K Joker, and Leap Unbound.
And
Grabe.
there you go.
Wow!
Sorry.
Nakaka-excite tomorrow. Grabe.
Yes, we
Exactly.
are so excited for tomorrow kasi for sure, ibang-ibang playstyle yung makikita natin.
Mhm.
Different from mga nakita natin sa gabing ito kasi may pointing system na, may
Ay,
Mm.
placing
tama.
points na. Hindi na dapat mag-play safe dito, guys.
Sim. Plus, i-re-reveal na ba natin? Kasi
Alin?
hindi lang rin puro isolated ang makikitang map natin dun. So,
Yes!
meron tayo i-re-reveal na ba natin? Puwede na, 'di ba?
Oo, pwede na siguro,
Pwede
pwede
na.
na. Sige kung
Kasi
gusto mo,
na-reveal
Doc
ko
Z.
na, eh.
Ikaw yan, Doc Z,
Oo.
eh.
isasama na rin natin
Alright.
ang blackout. So, kanya-kanyang strategy talaga 'yan, 'di ba?
Ayan.
There you
Eto ang
have it.
kaabang-abang guys tomorrow, go!
Exactly for our finals. And now, again, they have already said it. We have a placing points and we have a rotation of the map. Of course, round one, isolated. Round two, blackout. Round three, back to isolated. Round four, and blackout again. And of course, final round would be an isolated map. So now it's gonna be this tournament format that we will be following, isn't it, Dad?
Definitely, no. So now at least all their play styles will have to come together. That aggressiveness, the smart gameplay that they'll have to pull off. Medyo ito na yung pagdidesisyon na natin. Sino talaga yung aangat from all of this. Plus the fact that
Mm-hmm.
we will have to see all four kings battle it
Yeah.
out with
Ay,
each
oo.
other. Walang kampihang magaganap po
Mm-hmm.
dito. Yun yung medyo malupit doon. And of course, perhaps we may see one of these squads that have come in, perhaps surprise all of us and shock the world, perhaps securing their W for the very end. Again, for the finals, it's gonna be both kill points and your placement points. So you will have to be even smarter and even be more aggressive throughout the match for tomorrow. 5 rounds na po tayo bukas. So
Mm-hmm.
please make sure to set your alarms for 7 p.m. tomorrow as we, of course, give you the finals matchup for the Community Gladiators Fortitude Royale tomorrow here, of course, at the Garena Call of Duty mobile pages, both on Facebook and on YouTube as well.
Yes, again guys, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nanood ngayon
Yeah.
dito sa Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Doc Z, may gusto ka ba sabihin?
Basta mag-alarm na lang kayo guys bukas kasi eto na yung kaabang-abang, eh. Malalaman na natin sino ba ang mananalo sa ating Community Gladiators Season 1 this year. Kaya
Yes,
guys, 7
yes.
PM please.
Yan, abangan natin yan. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Sharlene,
And I'm Doc Z.
and our casters.
I'm Gamagori.
And this is JD Castadad reminding you always to be good, play nice. This has been the Community Gladiators Fortitude Royale Playoffs. We will see you at the finals.
Good night!
Bye!
Good
Good night!
night, people. Thank you so much. And